Hey, what up? Welcome to Tuesday's show. I'm Ultra D.
And I am Jimmy C.
All
How's
right.
everybody going?
We're going to be talking about these things. We got some SamSho news that we will get to. A few tournaments happened over the weekend. We'll talk about those as
Big
well.
ones, yeah.
Indeed there were. We have some interesting topics, I think, during the 5-5 matchup discussion points as well.
Mm-hmm.
Stadia already knows all about that. Already knows what we're going to say. We'll
Stadia
get to
knows
that anyway.
all
though.
of it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
And very cool news for GGPO. And then there's other game and community news too. But let's start with Samurai Shodown.
That's right. They released Basara literally I don't know if he's technically out yet.
Oh.
So what happened is there was a patch.
Yeah.
He's in it. He was locked.
Okay.
Basically, he was supposed to be unlocked, but they forgot to tag him as part of Season 1, so the people who had the pass couldn't get him yet. And so some people are still waiting. I guess they're still working on... Oh, I guess Gundam Jehudi Kai actually got him.
Okay.
So basically, I actually got to play him because Olaf was like, I can't wait. And
Yeah.
he just bought him.
Oh, man.
He just bought him. So,
shoutouts.
yeah. So because Basara was basically one of his favorite characters.
Right. I remember him
From
saying
Samurai
that.
Shodown 5, so he was like, no, I'm learning him now. So, hey, shout-outs to Elon, Donka, John, and Steve. Thanks for the raid from Best of 5 show.
What up?
What's up? I see you, Ace King Offsuit. I
Howdy.
see you. All right. Hello to everybody from the Best of 5.
Oh, yeah.
That's
All right.
Okay, they should add one more person to their staff, so it could be the best of 5, right? They need to get one more person on their team, so they could be 5 people, and they're getting the best of them, right?
I think that was the joke originally.
Best of 3, right?
Well,
We had
okay,
3.
but then it was 5 because there were 4 people who were on screen and Elon was behind the scenes.
I guess so.
I think that was the joke.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah, talk to me about, I don't know, what
Best
do you...
of 2 show. Anyways,
Yeah. Do you want to start with... I'm just saying that's exactly 50-50. It would not be best. It could only be better. Do you want to start with Basara himself, or do you want to get to the balance patch?
Let's talk about Basara.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the balance patch wasn't huge. There's
Okay.
a lot of small things and some weird shadow nerfs to Kyoshiro.
Oh, really?
I don't know what. Like, Crackprong was finding a bunch of things that they did to Kyoshiro that he's actually slightly worse all of a sudden, and I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
they just hate him. I don't know. Maybe the developer, one of the people working on this game is like, I really hate Kyoshiro.
Do you think that there's like a combo fiend equivalent there who used DJ one time and then Capcom thought he was too good so they nerfed him?
Hey,
Do you
look,
think
it's
like
the
that?
same guy who was making Street Fighter 4.
That's
you
right,
know,
actually.
Right? So,
That's true.
I mean, let's just put it that way. So there's so many parallels, dude.
Yeah,
There's
okay,
So many parallels.
okay.
But I know Hanzo got buffed a little bit. Some characters didn't get changed at all.
That's cool.
So like they didn't do anything to Jubei, which is cool because these are characters that I feel like they're obviously strong.
Okay.
They're like the strongest. And they didn't get nerfed, which I'm kind of happy with. Like, a lot of people
Sure.
right now think Shizumaru is far and above the best character right now.
Oh, I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't really get nerfed. He got one glitch that people were taking advantage of they fixed it. So people figured out a way to still activate burst while maintaining your charge.
Oh, wow.
It was designed so that, and this was cool because in the patch notes they actually wrote it down. They're like, the intention here is that you are not supposed to be able to charge this. It was supposed to be a choice between using burst and stuff like that. So they actually put that down in the notes. So shout outs to them.
That is cool. That is
for,
cool.
For that. That's actually good. I think they gave Nako one small buff or something, or it might have even been a lateral shift.
Crouching medium slash altered so that upon block, the player character enters a recoil
Yeah,
state.
so before she just spun. And so basically she was always negative.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But now she goes into a recoil state, so now she can recoil cancel.
Right.
So it's kind of better
Yeah, I
in a
see
way.
that.
So yeah, but that's the only change. So she only got the one change. So but overall they didn't do much. I think this wasn't like a tier shifting monumental balance patch.
Okay.
This is like here's a few small things.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
And then Basara came out, and I think Basara is super cool.
Okay.
I think he's super sick. For sure, I feel like he's probably the most involved character right now, so it might be one that you actually like.
Okay, maybe I'll take a look. All right.
So, what's interesting about him is that he's going to be one of those characters that is going to take a while before someone is going to be able to master him. Because it's going to be a lot about the timing. So the whole trick for Basara is that he has a bunch of moves. So, for example, he can jump forward like everybody else. He can walk forward like everybody else. His dash kind of makes him disappear and reappear. So he disappears from the screen and reappears again. He can't cross up he can't do body cross-ups. I don't know if he's invulnerable at all during that or not. I'm not 100% sure. But then he's also got a Zato one puddle thing where he can go under the ground and move left and right, basically. It's fixed time length, unlike Zato. Thank you, because I hated Zato's puddle, right? But the trick about it is all 4 of those things can be faked, in the essence that if you do a command, you'll see Basara start that, and then the Basara that starts that will either dissolve into a puddle on landing or fade away, and then the original Basara is still in place.
Interesting.
So basically, for example, you can sit over here and dash at them, and the guy swings, but it wasn't actually you dashing. Okay. You appear over here, they swing, and then you hit him.
Okay.
All the while, he has Reality Stone.
Okay.
It doesn't have quite the tracking that Reality Stone does,
fair enough.
Thank God. But when he throws it out, it goes, goes up, and then it very slightly tracks. Considerably worse than Super Dashes in Dragon Ball, for example.
Interesting.
But the thing about it is, because it goes up, it covers this great space of the screen, and if you throw it out, after knockdowns and they roll back, they can roll into it, and then all of a sudden you can do all sorts of crazy mix-ups of them, especially with your shadows and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, if you're next to them, you can jump, and then they stand up to block because the fireball's coming, but you're actually there, and you hit them with the low.
I see.
And stuff like that. And then his running B is an overhead, where he runs up and goes, and then slashes down. But it's whiff cancel when he has a command throw. So now basically they're trying to block the Reality Stone. He dashes up and goes, and then you grab them and stuff.
He can actually do stuff?
Yeah, he can do a lot of stuff. A lot of characters can do stuff.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Okay. Okay. But
I came off probably jerkier than I intended, to be honest.
Can do a lot of things.
I didn't mean to be a jerk. Anyway,
thanks for watching the Tuesday show.
Oh no! I think that does sound cool though. So he's like a zoner who can play tricks.
Yeah, he's a zoner with a lot of little tricks. And the tricky part is a lot of the things that he does with the shadows and everything like that and the fakes. There's a window after them in which you can't do another fake, and so it's you recover way before that. In fact, you can even move a little bit while you're not there. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of a window there. So you can actually call something, and then you can try calling the next one too soon, and then you won't do anything.
Sure.
And so I just feel that there's you're going to learn the timing for this to be able to control it really well. He's got a fireball that goes over you and it hits on the way back. He's got air fireballs, super punishable though. Okay. God, if you block it, he's just so dead.
Okay.
He's so dead. But there's tricks with it because you can throw a straight one off of the backdash. You can backdash. Even though he doesn't look like he's in the air, he throws it and it is an overhead. So he has an instant overhead fireball. Okay. If you block it, he's dead.
Okay. Even on backdash.
Yeah, even on backdash. Because when he does it, he bounces up a little bit afterwards. Now, if you have a Reality Stone fireball that's coming down here, it might stop them before they can get to you.
Okay.
But, like I said, it's slow enough that if he doesn't time it just right, you can make it under there and blow him up and stuff like that. He might... I don't know if he has unblockable setups, because... nothing is really an overhead. The fake jump isn't an overhead. Nothing will hit low. And even if he backdashes and throw a fireball, he can't hit you low at the same time. The fireball can be crouched at standing or blocking. Okay. So I don't think he's going to have any unblanco. I just read Blanca on the chat. Yeah. He doesn't have any unblankables.
By the way, thanks to Hirobachi and to Shoegazer Jimmy.
Oh, dang.
Shout out.
Shoegazer for 38 months.
Pretty nice. Dang. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's cool. So you had a chance to play with him for a while, I imagine.
I played against him.
Against him.
Find a new rival.
And I got to play against him. So, like I said, Olaf got him early. So I just went with Jubei because I just wanted to pick the best character possible to see how it goes against him, right?
Yeah.
And right now, so in Samurai Shodown 5, supposedly he was very weak. I can't really say from personal experience. That's what I've read.
Okay.
His tier list, on the tier list, he's not supposed to be very strong. But in this game right now, it definitely seems like he is not going to be bad. I can't say that he's going to be great right now, but that's because I think that there's a lot of potential that people are going to figure out with him, and they're going to figure out dirtier tricks with him.
Yeah, okay.
And I think he's going to be very viable.
Okay.
He seems really cool.
At least viable, basically.
Yeah, I really want to like mess with him because he seems really fun. But the way Olaf was saying it, he feels like, and again, this is all day minus zero conjecture here, that he's probably going to be one of those characters that's going to have a bunch of like 7-3s and then have a bunch of 3-7s or something like that. You know what I mean? He's going to be a polarizing character.
Okay.
Because he's got certain things too, like his dashing C is like really negative, but the thing about it is, he can do it from so far away, and it pushes you far away. Jubei can stab him for free because Jubei has the longest range in the world, but like some other characters like Nako might not be able to punish it, so he might be able to get some free dashing Cs because there's no recoils on it and stuff like that. So yeah, and yeah, he doesn't have the... So he was the character in SamSho 5 that just basically ate damage like you couldn't even imagine, which is why all those clips of the one-hit kills were all on Basara.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And in this game, he has a 110 rating, which means he takes 110% of damage as everybody else.
Okay.
Which isn't even the worst, because
Yeah.
I think Nako and Rimu both have 110 as well. So there you go. Is the sound low to you guys? Is the sound low? Shouldn't be low. Should be fine. Hopefully. Okay, people are saying it's them. It's Shoegazer. Yeah, Shoegazer. Little did you know, if you subscribe for over 3 years, we lower your volume.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the reward.
Yeah. But he's really cool so far.
Yeah,
I
sounds
really,
cool.
really like him. And, you know, it's just one of those situations, I feel like, as the game is going, they're kind of getting a better idea of what they can get away with some of the character design, because, you know, I felt like Rimu was kind of interesting. They were too scared of making her too good, so she wasn't very strong. And Shizu's just obviously super good, and now Basara is really interesting. So I'm really excited to see how he goes.
Do you think it's like they're more comfortable with having characters that can like take risks and play differently than other characters? Is that how it feels?
Sort of, but I also I think they realize what is strong in the game.
Okay.
So they know how to kind of create the characters so that they don't overdo it on one side, or they could make new tricks without it being broken right away.
That sounds cool.
Except maybe Shizu, but the thing is, Shizu has that backdash overhead combo, instant overhead combo, that can lead to big damage if you just have perfect execution, and most people can't really do that.
I watched your stream when you were trying to do it for the first time, and it took like quite a while, even for you.
Yeah. Took me like 15 minutes or something like that before, so yeah.
Well, that's cool, man.
So.
Well, I kind of agree, Arcade Robot, but telling my wife about different story.
Oh yeah, actually somebody else even knew that too, right? Arcade Robot saying David looks way better with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I agree.
Than clean shaven. Dude, I mean, my parents get mad at this all the time. Well, they don't get mad. They're like, "Are you really keeping it? Are you really?"
I think it's cool.
I don't know. I like it.
I think it's fine too.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about SamSho or Basara?
Not really. Just excited to see what they're gonna do with the other characters coming up.
Yeah.
Then, because hopefully Wamfu is really cool, because
Oh,
he's gonna
right.
be, if he's like he was before and he throws the pillar, like he's gonna be unarmed a lot. And I know a lot of the characters who
Right.
are unarmed, except for Darlie, don't really have a lot of abilities. But it would be really cool if Wamfu could play really well unarmed. Like they just gave him a bunch of stuff that, like Darlie, like extra moves that only exist unarmed and
Right.
stuff. So,
That would be cool.
Yeah. But nope, that's it.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's cool. So that's out now?
He's on the character select screen. He's just locked.
Okay. I'm sure that fixed that
And you
shortly,
have to
right?
pay for him right now. He's not included in the season 1 free patch, but they're working on it to fix it. Yeah,
Okay.
so just be patient. Wait a day. I'm sure they'll take care of it. If they're going to fly someone out to France to test the input lag, they'll be on this. So
That makes sense to me, too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, sounds good. You want to talk about a couple of tournaments? What happened?
Yeah. do that.
After we thank Fonte7686.
Oh, nice. 4 months. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
The biggest one that happened was the Southeast Asia Major.
Right, and that's the
C
biggest
major.
one, but it's a big one. Like, that is definitely a big event.
It is a big event.
It's a major for every stretch of the imagination. A lot of people always go there. It's always like considered like the biggest Asia tournament, right? It's like
It's certainly up there, yeah.
The one that always has like and it's also the Asia Premier Finals.
It was,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
there you go.
That's correct. That's correct. It was also the host of the Soul Calibur Asia League Finals, Tenkaichi event on the DBFZ World Tour. It had some stuff going for it, and as you would expect, it was very densely populated with strong players. Let's talk about the Asia. Well, let's do the Open Premier first, because that was actually first in human time.
So so there's two events.
Yeah.
There's the Open Premier, which is just a premier event where you gain points.
Anybody can enter. It's open.
Yes, anybody can enter. So we had some people traveling out there from the U.S., didn't we?
I believe there were a couple, but I don't think there were many.
Okay. But then also there is the actual Asia Finals, which is all the people at the top of the leaderboard of the Asia rankings go and fight each other for a basic guaranteed spot to get into Capcom Cup.
Right. Yeah, there's really only a couple, and they're a little bit down.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
All right. Well, Fudo won it with Birdie and Mika. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Fudo. That's only his second premier win in Street Fighter V. Even though he's been consistently one of the best players in the world and has made grand finals 100 times.
Right.
I don't know how many, like a lot. He's been second place so many times. But he did win one.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that's only a second one.
Right.
It's unbelievable, but you know what? Good job to him. Congratulations to him. Really happy for him. Hang on
Definitely.
a second. We're turning on the jet engine right now.
Yeah, Fudo played extremely, extremely well. Gachikun got second place. I thought he played well, but I went back and reviewed the matches that Kichimamu had versus both of those players, and Fudo was ridiculous. I mean, I knew that watching his, he's amazing. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think Gachikun kind of like lucked out in terms of beating Kichimamu.
Okay.
So I think that like Gachikun obviously extremely good. He got second place overall, but Fudo was like to me like the star of the tournament for sure. Clearly.
Well, I mean Kichimamu third place again.
Yeah.
Like that's
top three yet again.
There's something. I mean, like Zangief is clearly one of the best characters.
It's funny. I mean, he's I've thought the whole season that he's like mid tier. I never thought he was great or terrible.
I mean, the interesting thing about it is
I wouldn't have said that you could win a major with him solo.
But he did, right?
He hasn't yet.
Oh, he got second place against Hot Dog. That's right.
And this was part of why. Like he ran into Fudo Birdie. Zangief's not going to be Fudo Birdie. Some other birdies maybe, but like not that guy.
Right.
So I really wish he'd pick up Abigail or whatever. But anyway.
But he did beat Tokido again.
He did.
And apparently, I mean, that's just. I guess it is just like an even match. Kichimamu thinks he wins. He thinks he wins it, so yeah.
Indeed.
But it's really cool to see.
Very, very good top 8.
I mean, what's the variety here? We got Birdie, Mika, Rashid, Zangief, Karen, Kami, Bison, Mika, Ibuki, Bison. So it's only Bison and Mika that repeated. That's pretty good.
Totally.
It's really, really good.
I definitely agree. It was a lot of fun. Very good tournament to watch.
Do we have any Lucias, Hondas, or Poisons in here yet?
No, I don't. I didn't see any.
We need to get some of those.
I just wouldn't expect it. I mean, even in the previous seasons when characters were really good, you just rarely see people invest that time.
Right, until the next season.
Exactly, yeah.
Because no one will play them. They'll look at their stats and be like, why is everybody losing with these characters? Let's buff them.
Yes.
And then they get buffed, and then everyone picks them up the next season when they're clearly stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, because Kage's going to get buffed, you know.
Kage probably will.
Yeah, it's all going to happen.
People think Honda's bad, so they'll probably buff him.
Do they really think Honda's bad?
Some people think he's bad.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Poison's definitely, I feel like, gotten stronger as time went on.
Poison seems all right.
Yeah, Poison seems good. I think Lucia seems really good. Or
good.
Some people said she's supposed to be Lucia, but I'm not sure.
That's not how the game pronounces it, so whatever.
It's Lucia. And she's supposed to be
not Italian.
Half Puerto Rican anyway, so that would definitely be Lucia.
Well, I don't think that the game says that, but the voice actor is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
I
I thought they brought that back into her storyline.
Do do like nations like? Oh, I guess there are countries in Street Fighter. That's true, but I don't think that's in the story.
Okay.
Anyway, Dragon Ball Fighters was won by Fenrich.
Okay.
Cell, Kid Goku, Vegeta.
Who got second?
BN.
Okay.
Then B.
Okay. BN.
BN beat B to get second.
Beat.
Or in other words.
Oh,
to be in
there's
the
a
B
player.
tier.
There's a player named B. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
That's not confusing.
Apology Man did travel and got 9th for that.
Oh, nice.
But,
good stuff.
Shoutouts to East Asia for basically controlling that. Caliber 6 was won by Utoto with Voldo and Aswell. Super cool.
A bunch of players went out to that. I believe Kiev was out there.
Kiev was there, yep, for sure.
Kayane was out there too, wasn't she? Or?
I don't know, but that seems likely. Okay. I mean, the Singapore scene itself is very strong.
Yeah, they've always been one of the strongest
very strong
ones. Yeah.
But yeah, Japanese as well. That was on the Soul Calibur Asia League finals.
Right.
So
they have those invites to
yes.
the tournament, but I think some people are getting there by winning tournaments.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. And I read that because he was already qualified, there's another LCQ spot that opened up at the end of the year for Soul
they're
Calibur,
doing that thing. They're doing the Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't they learn?
You know. We didn't talk about this, but Street Fighter V, the arcade edition Asia Finals, right? We talked about the premiere, but the Asia Finals was won by Fujimura.
Ah, okay. So he's in now, guaranteed. Then.
Yeah, but he was already like 5th in points or something.
Exactly.
So he definitely already was. But so basically, I think they just open up another slot for whichever Asia region player is the highest unqualified via global points.
Wait, no, I thought this would supersede the global points, wouldn't it?
Well, but the guy who won it is already qualified.
Right, so they would open up a slot on the global leaderboard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
On the leaderboards.
Yeah,
on the global leaderboard. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I was unclear, but that's definitely what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right, the Dragon Ball mistake. Oh, shoot. The grand finals, I think the very last match was won by an accidental pause.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like they paused it and they sat there and they were like, sorry, the rule says you're DQ'd, like disqualified. It was his last loss. And so he was just like, and then they shook hands and that was the end of it. So, that was BB Tag. That was BB Tag that had happened.
Wow.
Okay. It wasn't the Dragon Ball mistake. That was BB Tag. Still sucks that happened.
Sucks, yeah.
That still sucks, dude.
Samito Chip won Rev 2. SamSho was won by Kazunoko.
No surprise.
Tekken 7 by Land 94.
Kazunoko still using... Oh, he's using Yoshitora now. Interesting. Okay. Dropped Haomaru. What they did... So his dashing punch they nerfed after Evo.
Haomaru?
Haomaru. But... they buffed it again.
Oh, that's cool.
In this last patch, so I think that they were probably like, "Oh, maybe it was a little overboard. Let's fix it a little bit."
That's good.
So.
Seo won Under Night, and BB Tag was won by Fenrich as well.
That's won because I remember Fenrich was the one who had the pause happen, so that's why I thought it was Dragon Ball. But
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Oh, did he go to Jubei? I'm not sure. It would make sense if Kazunoko went to Jubei, because Kazunoko's not bashful about picking the strongest character. Yoshitora is clearly not the strongest character. So it would make sense if he went to Jubei, or even someone like Yashimaru or something like that, or Charlotte. Or
really, Yashimaru is one of the best?
Justin puts him as the best right now. Justin actually puts him at the best. And he's really good just because of the double jump.
Sure, mobility,
so good.
That makes sense.
It's just so good. So, but
well, there you go. That was some of the results from SEAM.
Yeah, again, I mean, always a big tournament. A lot of the big guys flew out there and everything like that. So, yeah, good stuff.
Cool. What else happened? Let's talk about the Brazil Game Show.
Sure.
Brazil Game Show had a stop on the Mortal Kombat Pro competition. The Brazilian scene is really good.
They love Mortal Kombat.
They do. They're super into it, and they have really good players.
South America's really into Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That is definitely not one of the countries where it is banned at all.
No. They're big fans.
Yep.
Very, very cool. So this was, the South Americans did super well.
Right.
6 of the top 8 were South Americans.
Okay,
5 of them
okay.
were Brazilians.
Right.
However, the grand finals was no Brazilians at all. It was Tekken Master won it from Bahrain, and then Dizzy from the UK got second place.
Okay, so the first two, the only two non-Brazilians were 1 and 2.
Correct.
But I mean, it's they're world-class players.
They really are. They
can't
really
be
are.
mad about that.
Killer Shinnok got third. He's super good. Did a lot of good work with Baraka, Geras, and Nightwolf, aka Team Ultra Davids. Shoutouts to Killer Shinnok. That's awesome. What was funny about this one too is that there were so many Sonya players, because that's a character that I don't really know why, but like for example, Rewind put out a tier list, and he didn't have Sonya in either of the top 2 tiers.
Right, she was like considered the best character for a long time.
Yeah, she's
right?
really good.
Until
and then they like slightly nerf
right,
stuff.
Yeah,
she does like less damage.
Right, yeah.
But she still has one of the best projectile games and mix-ups and movement and whatever, right? Like all the things. So Tekken Master won it with Sonya over Dizzy, who played Sonya Mirror. And there was also a Sonya in 5th place, Mr. Bruno, and Eternal, who got 7th place, played a little bit of Sonya, mostly others.
Right.
And Shinigami, who got 9th, also played Sonya. There just happened to be like a lot of Sonya.
That's interesting. Okay,
I don't
maybe
know
they're
why.
fans of Sonya down there.
Well, no, because Tekken Master from Bahrain and Dizzy from the UK were...
There's still 3 other Sonyas.
And there were other Sonyas too,
Yeah,
for sure.
there's 3 other
For
Sonyas,
sure.
so there you go.
Yeah, and then you don't see Baraka that often. He got 3rd. You don't see Sub-Zero very often. He got 4th.
All right,
So, interesting.
All right. I'm just going to do this in chat. Look, our chat is not about talking smack about other games and stuff like
What
that.
are we doing here?
Someone insulted BB Tag on the stream.
Oh, no.
So I'm just going to time him out for a brief second here.
That's one of my favorite current games.
Yeah, and BB Tag is an awesome game.
It is.
And I want to create the environment that we do not insult each other's games on the Ultra Chen chat. So that's the way it goes here.
I really didn't mean to be a jerk about SamSho.
Right.
Really did it. Anyway, yeah, it was a good event. Very hype. The Brazilian crowd, like for every single game, not even just video games, like any event, the Brazilian crowds are amazing.
Yeah.
So
the Latin America scenes are always amazing.
It was cool.
And don't forget, this was also was this the game show that Ono said, oh, we're going to also have some announcements.
Yes.
And they went there and people were like, oh, what are they going to announce? And it's like, here's these new costumes, which we'll talk about later.
We will talk about those.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, that was BGS. So as a result, Tekken Master basically is qualified for the thing at the end, Final Combat. Dizzy's got a lot of points for that. That's cool. Let's talk also about Thunder Smash 3.
Yeah, definitely.
Clash of the Pandas.
Yeah. Where did this take place?
In California, at Thunder Studios.
Oh, okay. Because this
Long
one
Beach,
was
I
an interesting result. Like, if we go to the first place, I think it was a player from Japan.
Okay.
Took it with Pac-Man.
Oh, sick.
And-
Pac-Man's not bad?
That's the thing, is I think most people thought Pac-Man was kind of like mid-low
Sick.
tier.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I'm actually curious, because Pac-Man was one of those characters I've always wanted to play.
I know,
But
I know,
always
I know.
just feel like he sucked, because down B is the Hydrant, and I just feel like the Hydrant is the most, like, why did you give him this move? I get it, it's a Pac-Land reference, but geez, he can't even do anything with it. It pushes him away. He can't even control which way it sprays. Like, it was always made me sad. Is he really high tier? Is he high tier? I don't know. So that's what somebody actually says. So I don't know. I don't know
Do you
if
mean
he's actually...
EMP Booty Cheeks?
Yeah, EMP Booty Cheeks said that Pac-Man is high skill.
Okay.
He's high tier.
That's cool then.
Okay, so he's high tier. Good. Okay. Well,
So
I'm
yeah,
happy.
T won it with Pac-Man, and you got Mars with Zero Suit after that. Cosmos Inkling.
Okay.
That's cool, man. I watched a little bit of this, but not that much.
Okay.
It was cool. I mean, they always put on good events.
Yeah,
Thunder.
I mean, I see some people in the chat saying Pac-Man is not that good, but, I don't know. That's the good thing about the game, I think, is that it's very debatable.
Okay.
And I like that.
I definitely agree
think
with
that
that.
is a good thing.
I definitely agree with that.
So, there you go. Okay.
There were fewer than 100 entrants, but looks. I mean, the name. I recognize every name here. So,
Right. Yeah.
And I'm, not a particular expert, so that's cool.
Okay. Tourney ran super late. That's unfortunate. Okay. All right.
Okay, and then the other only other event to talk about was the Street Fighter League week number 7, in which Psycho beat Spirit 3-2. They banned Dalsum which is cool because that means that we get to see Dankadius G, which I'm always happy about, and that means we get to see Arturo Sanchez Falk.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah.
I think those bans are cool because like you're banning your own dude's main character, but you're just like confident enough in like taking the other guy out. I think that's cool.
I mean, Dankadius beat Punk. I mean, let's...
And Dankadius beat Satan.
Oh, they had to fight against each other?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay.
In the end, Smug beat CJ for the win for Team Psycho.
What is Revolution talk on Jehudi Kai? Is there a Revolution event that we missed or something?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Let us know. I guess, and Curly W saying Thunder Smash was basically an invitation.
Was it really?
So,
or not? I mean, not really, right? It was just not that many people went.
Oh, Revolution 2019, world's oldest anime-only major. I didn't see anything about that.
Me neither. Didn't even hear about it, to be honest.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Bummer.
Okay.
My bad. Well, let me just blaze through this. So Storm beat Frost 3-1. Akuma got banned. Mika got banned. And in the end, Strider G beat Duo Kevin Rashid to take it. And then Inferno beat Gale. So Punk ultimately beat Rob TV at the end there.
Oh, okay.
Gale and Storm are currently tied for top 2, which is Do, Rob TV Shine, and Strider, Tommy Two Step Mojo.
Nice.
But it's close, dude. There's no blow-ups. It's 4-2 for first places and 2-4 for last places.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't like last season where
yeah.
Inferno was destroying everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Inferno's 3-3,
Yeah.
the Punk team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. There you go. Well, that is the results, unless we can find anything about Revolution.
I don't know why I searched Revolution UK results. What an idiot.
What's the English Revolution online library of liberty is what you got.
Well, I have the Smash GG.
Okay, the Smash GG, okay.
Oh, and it was just posted in the chat. Thanks, Gruff, but I had just found it as well. All right. Yeah, I know. Just Google UK Revolution. Easy.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things that I've Googled before without thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
Have come up with wrong.
Oh, the fighting game one will come up, not the fact that there's actually...
Yeah, exactly.
Samurai Shodown was won by Benji Buckley. Pokken was won by D.I. Kuromu. Million Arthur Arcana Blood was won by Lord Spectre X. Fighting X Later by NGI Rayo Karna. Eunice by 60 Mixty. BB Tag by Black Ace. BBCF by Kiba. Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 by War Bandit. Skullgirls by Mr. Peck. And Puyo Puyo Tetris by Ecans.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely been around for a while. I've definitely heard of it before, and I just didn't remember until someone reminded me that it was the anime.
Yeah, my bad. I totally missed this.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all I
Puyo
got for
Puyo
results
Tetris
now.
was insane, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
It's always tough for me because I just don't play Puyo and
Yeah.
I don't understand. And Puyo is like one of those games that if you don't understand it, you can't even see what the other guy is setting up. You can't even know what the guy is setting up for you. I think all Puyo Puyo tournaments are usually swap mode nowadays, so because I think they want to take advantage of its unique flavor, but I can't be 100%, so.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, cool. There you go. Well, do you want to take a quick... Well, that was fast. We got through that in like 40 minutes. Do you want to take a break and then just come back to the 5-5 then?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, yeah, let's take a break and we will be right back.
Okay. I'm going to eat some salad.
Eat some salad. Wow, okay. You a healthy guy, you.
I've been trying. It's hard.
Yeah, trust me, I know. Yeah, that's definitely true, Boats and Joes. Anybody can actually learn Puyo if they want to. It's funny because when I play Puyo, like I've played Puyo on Puyo Puyo Tetris, and I don't know, it's hard for me to get into. I don't know what it is. Like there's just something.
You just don't care enough to learn?
Yeah. It's not that I can't learn it.
Yeah.
It's just when I play it, it's not what I'm looking for, I guess,
Okay.
in a weird way. So, oh dang. Okay, I'll check this clip out later. But apparently there's some crazy all clear block or something like that. So I'll check that out I'll check out that stylish triangular albatross forehead later. I love Twitch links. You like cute stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Puyo Puyo is definitely cute with the little cute blobs with eyes and everything like that. So. Yeah, I'm just, because the thing about it is, I mean, I'm sure you can do this once you play Puyo for a long time, that it just kind of becomes second nature to you and everything, and so it's kind of like you're just in the zone. But Tetris, I feel like, is definitely a much more reactive kind of game, you know, and I think Puyo, you have to like try to build these chains and plan all this stuff, and I don't know, it's just, that's not quite to think, yeah, exactly. That's just what it is. I want to play Puyo like it's Tetris, and I can't, basically.
Okay.
So. Oh, he's the second best TGM player in the UK. That makes sense. It makes sense. Who was the player that came to... I don't know if 645 is in the chat right now, but he when he was running it at CEO the one year that I did kind of jump over and help with commentary a little bit, there was the one, like, best Puyo Puyo player in the world who was there and was just, I mean, watching him play Puyo Puyo was just the most ridiculous thing. So Taffokins the same way, huh? He has said that he doesn't like Puyo Puyo Tetris specifically because of the Puyo half. Yeah. Like I said, that's not to say there's anything wrong with Puyo. I think Puyo is a great game, and I think it's really smart, and it's a very intelligent game. And in fact, the way that I describe it almost makes it sound like I'm insulting Tetris sometimes. Because,
I actually agree with that. Yeah.
You know, I feel like Puyo, you have to think more than you do in Tetris, and it sounds weird. But shout outs to Fugu Tabeta, Tabatai, by the way. Yeah. Oh, dang. Revo had Temo, who's one of the best in Japan. Okay. They were less good in Tetris. Yeah, it's definitely kind of like different skills. They're very, very different skills. So, but like I said, I've always just enjoyed the zone kind of games. That's why, like, when I played F-Zero GX, I would just play training with no computer cars on the track. And I would just race the track. And literally, there was one track that I think I just raced for like 40 laps in a row. And I just sat there and just did that because it's just so fun to do. Like, it's just how it is. It's kind of the... It's funny because I just recently started picking up the keyboard again. I think I mentioned this before. And, like, it's 100% how I play fighting games and stuff like that. Like, I'll just keep... Like, I'll play the song, and then I'll be like, all right, this is the last time I'm going to play it because I need to go to sleep. And I'll play it, and I'm done. One more time. I'll play it again. I'm done. One more time. It's exactly how I am with combos and everything like that. I'll do the same combo over and over and over and over and over again. And, like, there's no part of me that gets bored about it. You
That's
know
cool,
what I mean?
then. Yeah.
There's, like, this weird kind of zoning kind of feel that I have, so.
All right, I ate the salad. You want to come back?
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I'm just trying to kill time until you finish the salad, so. You ready?
I was hungry, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move over to the 5-5 matchup in which we discuss / debate / kill each other over something. Huh? What do you got? What do you got?
Let's talk about the regular topic here first, the non-polls, non-viewer topic.
Daigo says Ryu is unplayable versus top tiers.
In Street Fighter V Season 4.
Correct. Now, in watching the FGC translated video, which, again, I highly recommend everybody subscribe to, super good service, very interesting to get players' mindsets that otherwise would just be hidden to me. You know what I mean? I think that's so cool. He didn't say that Ryu's terrible. Like, his like opening line was like, Ryu isn't bad. It's just that he can't really play against the top tiers.
I think he's bad. No, I'm just kidding.
And so he's, suggested a couple of things to buff Ryu, like what if Forward Fierce was like +1 or something instead of like -2, whatever. Sort of slight stuff like that. What do you think about good old Ryu?
I honestly thought he was the worst character in Season 3, right?
Dang.
And I know you think it was Zangief.
I definitely think it was Zangief.
Yeah, so it's one of those two.
Probably,
those two are probably in the bottom. I really thought Ryu
Yeah.
was terrible. And you know what? I mean, the thing about Ryu being the worst character is probably more just the fact that he's always been so strong in a standard Street Fighter game that to see him so weak makes him seem that much worse to me. You know what I mean?
It's been a good decade since he's been good in a new game.
I guess that's true, because in
In
Street Fighter
early
4,
Street Fighter 4, he was good.
Yeah.
And then as the game went on, he got, like, progressively worse.
Yeah.
Maybe not even worse, but just, like, outclassed. In the same way as now. Like, Evil Ryu existed, so why bother?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And now Akuma exists, so why bother with Ryu?
And you know what the biggest problem is, and Daigo even touched on this, is I think Capcom is scared to make fireballs good again. They're just really scared to make fireballs good because people hate zoning.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny too because like Javits just put a tweet out there about like chip kills. I don't know, maybe we should even talk about that on Fi-Fi as well. But like a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't like chip kills because it makes zoners stronger and and all these things like that. And I was like, it's not a view that I had thought of before, but it makes sense. And I just they really, and I feel like this is not just a Street Fighter thing. I feel like this is a trend across all fighting games. Is they're really trying to hurt the zoning, right? They're really trying to take that away because people just don't like it.
For example, I mentioned that there were so many Sonyas in the BGS MK top 8. The chat constantly whining about the projectiles because they were shooting rings at each other constantly, ring, and it was in reality like a lot of really good spacing and timing, you know, all the cool stuff about zoning. But the chat was just like, "Oh my god, Zoniac! When will they nerf this character? This is horrible to watch. Worst top 8 ever." And meanwhile, it's actually really good. You know? but yeah, you're right. Yeah. People complain about zoning.
Yeah,
for sure.
People just hate it, and they hate projectile games.
You're right.
And if you take that away, you've just fundamentally destroyed Ryu.
Yes.
And so what Daigo mentioned is like for characters that can get around fireballs easily. That's how I felt playing Sagat. When Sagat first dropped, I was like, I'm gonna pick this character up because he's fun.
Yeah.
But then there's just so many characters that be like, please throw fireballs at me so I can gain V-trigger meter. Thank you. And I was like, I can't throw fireballs. And surely Sagat is still good. We've seen guys like Automatic do well. Zaffarino does well with him and stuff like that. You know, he's not a bad character.
Yeah.
But there's just too many ways to stop fireballs. And that's the thing. If I ever wanted to rebalance Ryu, I would just try to make the fireballs stronger. But the problem is, I don't know if they want that because
they did buff the fireballs slightly in Season 4. The Fierce one's a little faster, the Jab one's a little slower. So they did change it a little bit. I don't know. What I would do is maybe not change the fireball game itself. There's just too many things in the game now that are anti-fireball.
Right.
Like maybe if Street Fighter 6 you redesign it and maybe don't put all those things in, but it's too late for that now. So I would rather have things like crouching medium kick be farther range and like tools to make that kind of buff, that mid-range that I think of as being where Ryu wants to play. Like maybe make it so that crouching medium kick into Fierce Fireball's a block string. Like why not? I don't know why not. That just hasn't been like that.
I think max range low forward fireball should be a true block string.
I think low forward fireball, Fierce Fireball should be a block string.
Yeah, 100%.
Why not?
Like that. I mean, you could probably give Ryu a hop kick. You know what I mean? Just
That's
like
cool
whatever. But honestly, I think there are ways to buff the fireball game, right? Like the two suggestions I've always given, one of them which they will never ever do, which is the V-Trigger 1
Yeah.
where when you charge up your V-Trigger, the timer drains and the fireball doesn't drain any meter.
Yes.
And it's faster.
Absolutely.
It's
like Ken, like it just doesn't. He can use special moves, but the meter doesn't drain. Absolutely, I agree.
And his fireball's good, but his uppercut just drains the whole meter.
Yeah.
Like if he hits you with an uppercut, it does a good chunk of damage. He does a Shinsho, but then his meter's gone. So basically, if you're a player and you're like, I don't want to deal with this buffed fireball, I'm just gonna jump at him. Let him uppercut me, and then I don't have to deal with it anymore. Or the Ryu can be smart and jump kick you out of the air, try to preserve it. But see, it adds something, and now Ryu is scary with the fireballs, right?
I agree.
The other thing that I really want, I don't want a fake fireball. I don't like fake fireball.
May that never come back.
Yeah, but what I do want is a pseudo fake-ish fireball, which is the idea of mine for the EX fireball, that when you do it, you can hold the buttons, and he goes, and then you can let go and release it. Doesn't make it do any more damage, doesn't make it do any more hits, it's just to throw the timing of the enemy off. If you're fighting a Balrog and you're predicting he's going to V-skill through your fireball, you can go, like this, and then he spins, and then let it go and punish it.
Sounds great.
And making it cost meter makes it so you can't abuse it. And so I just think that would be a sick thing to do.
I'm totally down for that.
I really want Ryu to have good fireballs.
I agree with you. Right. And I think that would go quite a ways to making it so that opponents would have to respect fireballs a little bit more.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that makes total sense, dude.
Right. I mean, obviously, it might not work against something like an EX cannon drill, which is just like.
Yeah, there are some things that are just
invincible the whole way, you know,
Yeah, totally.
and you're just like, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, no, that would be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want, for example, what Daigo suggested, Forward Fierce being plus. That's like not the style of Ryu that I want. Like that Ryu would just be like the same pressure that like a lot of characters already have, which is not really what I want to highlight.
Yeah, and that's why I would love to find ways to make his fireball strong again, so that way he can kind of try to play this game.
I was so excited for Ryu before the game came out. I remember being so stoked. I thought it would be like Third Strike Denjin Ryu before the game launched, because I mean, when they were showing us stuff about the character, I thought he looked like that kind of brawler, unblockable setup kind of character again. And I think that character is very interesting, but that's not the same as saying like, oh, he should just be plus on block on a normal, like so many other characters are, that just starts the party. That's not really it. I want more fireball stuff. I would love it if the unblockables mattered. I don't like that it's 50% damage reduction. Just let me do the big damage, right? Like, why not? I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked it if Ryu just was super beefy damage.
Right? It would be
like
cool.
if they just made the Denki kick just do a crap ton of damage and a crap ton of stun like you did in Third Strike for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really, really cool. So.
Yeah, the charge fireball setups are nice and they do work on some characters, but you don't get much damage out of them, and there's many, many characters that just blow them up very easily.
Yeah, exactly. So, Kif Ryu.
He does need some help. I don't think that he's one of the worst in the game.
Sucks.
Yeah, that's not what I think. But
yeah, I mean, as much as I think he sucks, he's definitely not the worst. But
I don't think he's bad. I think it's more that, as Daigo said, he has some particular bad matchups against characters that like are really good, and that Akuma exists, and Akuma just does what Ryu wants to do, but better.
And it actually is one of my favorite questions, my Overworld, where he asks, who is the worst character in the game right now? And one reason why it's one of my favorite questions is because, honestly, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's
because
pretty murky.
The game is actually pretty well balanced right now. I mean, the one character that a lot of people like to say is Ed. A lot of people talk about Ed, but, you know, I mean, I would have to ask an Ed player more for that. But, I mean, he's clearly not strong. Is he the worst? I don't know. So, but.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going through the old list here, as I always have to do. Who sucks? Yeah, maybe Ed.
I mean, there's Ed, Vega, people
maybe
talk
Vega.
about, but I don't even think Vega's that bad. It's hard. There's like not very many characters who are bad in this game, right?
You think Falk is worse than Ed?
See, I don't even think so. People have been doing well with Falk. It's just not a lot of people are using her.
I don't think she's great, but
I don't think she's great, but I don't think she's the worst character. Not by a heartbeat. So.
Man, I don't think that Alex is bad.
Alex is not even bad.
I think Alex is good. I don't think he's as good as some other characters for sure, but I definitely think he's good.
Hi, buddy.
He's like mid, at least.
Sim is good. Sim is still good. I mean, look at Dinka Diaz, dude.
Sim's alright. Sim is one of those characters that is just so volatile that it's hard to put him in a tier. Sometimes he looks like he's like too good. Like some of his setups you see, some of the mix-ups, you just feel like they come from Marvel rather than from Street Fighter. And other times, he just gets destroyed. Somebody jumped in on him once and he died. Like, it's just so volatile that I think tiering him is not easy. But I think overall, I would say like low mid, maybe low. I don't know, somewhere around there. Not great. Anyway, yeah, I think we'd all like to see Ryu be better. In conclusion.
Daigo's definitely right. So, yeah, you can't even call Geef bad with the way
Geef's not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad.
At all,
So,
I don't think that. And what Ryu definitely said, or what Daigo said, is that he can't be played versus top tiers, and I do think that's true. Not just characters, but top level players. Just don't bring your strongest character to a major tournament. You know, you have to, if you are like Daigo trying to actually make money doing this, then it just doesn't make sense. It's irresponsible to bring a character that you don't think is your strongest.
I mean, Nash is a good candidate because nobody plays that character.
Is he even? I honestly haven't seen him
Nash might
I haven't watched a match of Nash, and I haven't played against Nash in probably a year.
Right. He's just
Honestly.
like disappeared. He's really disappeared. It's really kind of sad.
I think that this is probably a true stat. I've seen him fewer than 10 times in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I really think it's fewer than 10.
Poor Nash. It's because the last Nash doesn't even use Nash anymore.
Nash died again. Yeah, he needs to be re-sewn back together again.
And now this time his whole face is gonna be gray.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Nash died. His
Good
bison
work,
threw him
Death
off the
by Pope.
waterfall.
Oh man, well, all right. Let's hold off on doing this chip kills thing because let's see which topic.
Sure, I haven't even had a
your
chance to look
choice.
at this yet at all. So.
Ooh, we have a tie.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, well, we agreed that those would be the two that we did.
Correct.
All right, so what are the questions?
The questions are...
Oh, I forgot to even update the category here. That's my bad, so, well, I'll do it right now.
Okay. With games now often being digital, with DLC and or online connections required to play, what do you think the future of competitive gaming will be? The implication being, like, if you can't access games in the future... what'll it be like? Like, you can't really go back and play a Super Turbo with this age in 25 years because you won't have it.
Right. Okay. Because it's not like
It's not a physical thing. It's like living in the ether.
God, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. Well, we'll see. 2. Which top players in the FGC play their characters in the most unique ways? Interesting. We won't be talking about that, but interesting. Do old gamers slow down the progress of video games by opposing new mechanics or game modes, yearning for their old favorite games that have long since died?
No! No! You could have at me. You don't have to subtweet me, okay?
Wow.
Just at me next time, okay?
Wow.
God.
Wow.
Damn. Cowards out there just calling out people on the internet. Why don't you come to my house and tell me that? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Say it to my face, man. Say it to my face.
But yeah, this is why I don't want eternal life. I think humans should have an expiration date because that way society moves
let's talk
on.
about another subject, please.
Okay. 4.
Subject, please.
How can we increase monetization of the FGC audience for the benefit of players and TOs? Okay. We're not going to be talking about that, but that's an important question.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I answered it really quickly, just make good products that people want to buy.
Genius.
That's it.
That sounds perfectly right.
I mean, that's it. That's it. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 5. How should game developers adapt their games to newer alternate controllers like Hitbox and Crossup? I think that's an interesting question, too. We've been talking about it from the player tournament side, but not really from the dev side. We're not going to talk about that tonight either. But maybe resubmit that. That's cool. 6. Do fighting games need a coach role like team esports do?
Okay.
Not talking about that either. If Street Fighter V gets an overhaul, what new mechanics or changes would you want to see?
Man.
And then lastly, what do you think about Evo Japan and Genesis 7 being on the same weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, we were planning to talk about that anyway.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that anyway. Now, some people are asking why we're just skipping a bunch of questions. The whole point is that it's a voter interaction, it's a viewer interaction. You decide the question, and we answer the ones that you want to hear the most.
Correct.
And if you want that question that was skipped answered, ask it again, and then vote for it in the next poll.
You can only vote if you are a subscriber on Twitch or Patreon.
So
like, for example, Ian or something can vote because they've subscribed for 63 months in a row.
63
Dang,
months?
that is incredible, to be honest.
Wow. You know what the scariest thing is? That's 5 years?
Yes.
And that's 3 years less than how long we've been doing this. That's the scariest thought.
It's been a while.
We're in our 8th season, and it always blows my mind.
Thanks for the sub as well, D-Answer.
See, he wants to vote.
Okay.
He wants to vote. 63 months is hell of... Thank you, Ian or something. Dude, Ian or something, if you ever, show up to Evo or something, come say hi, and we'll buy you dinner, dude.
Seems like a fair trade. All right, here's what we're talking about. The two that have won, both with 25% of the votes.
Mm-hmm.
With games now often being digital with DLC and or online connections required to play, what do you think the future of competitive video gaming will be? If we can't access the games of yore, if we are prevented from doing so by the fact that maybe we need to download something that's no longer available for download, or what if the servers are gone at that point?
Right.
What if it needs to be online always, but there's just no more, that doesn't exist anymore?
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I was so happy about a game like Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition. Especially with the way that Digital Eclipse is trying to do things with the whole shell method so that it's easy to port from console to console.
That is cool.
Because, you know, it is a game preservation kind of mentality. That's kind of the hope. And, you know, one of the biggest problems with the Street Fighter V current generation, unless they do the same thing they did for Street Fighter 4, because 4 had this problem, is you can't play any of the old versions anymore, right? Because they just don't exist.
Right.
So we can't play Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 at all. I don't think there is a way to play them at all.
Not that
right?
I know of. Yeah.
And that's kind of sad, actually. Like,
when you bought the disc, if you just wipe everything from your hard drive now and put the disc in, is it just Season 1?
Probably, but you probably can't do anything with it.
You're probably right. Oh, I'm
because
sure you're
it'll be
right,
like, you know, we can't log into the server until you update it or whatever. Like
you definitely can't play online or anything.
Yeah. So it's interesting, and you know what? It is a tough question, because what if, let's say, like 25 years, or let's say like 15 years from now or something, and we're like, oh, let's do this nostalgia Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 tournament. Like, can we? Because is 5 would 5 even exist?
Right.
Like, is there, like, if we're on the PlayStation 6 by then, because it's 6 years per console, right? If we're on the PlayStation 6 by then, is Street Fighter 5 even going to be available? Do we have to find everybody who still has their PlayStation 4 consoles?
Right.
You know, is it going to be like the Melee crew just sitting there, you know, every time they pass by a CRT on the street, they're like, oh, I should pick that up.
Right. Right.
That might work, you know, and kind of thing like that.
Maybe.
So. Yeah, I know about the trials thing. You can play the different things in the trials, but that's not actually playing the game, right? You can see what it was. So, I don't know. Like, I hope these people have the wherewithal to keep trying to do this kind of porting mentality, you know what I mean, and preservation, because that's one of the hardest things about video games right now, is that unlike movies, which are easy to port to new formats and can continue. Like, I don't know if you saw, Disney just announced their Disney Plus opening lineup that's coming out, and I'm like, I'm probably way more excited than I should be.
Okay.
Because they are bringing back old movies.
Really?
And they're bringing everything to that channel.
Really?
That I just would not have. Dude, when we went to, like, when my parents used to own a video store, you know, the Disney films were all in those big, fat, white, puffy boxes. Mm-hmm. And there was, like, Condor Man and the Apple Dumpling Gang and Hot Lead and Cold Feet, No Deposit, No Return, Escape from Witch Mountain, Return to Witch Mountain, and Herbie the Love Bug, and, you know, all these movies there, and they're all on that channel. And these were movies that me and my brother watched when we were growing up. They have the entire Disney afternoon lineup on there. All of the Gummy Bears, all of DuckTales, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, all of Darkwing Duck, all of Tailspin. They have all 30 seasons of The Simpsons on there. They have
what?
All
that's right. They own.
Yeah.
God,
dude,
that's terrible. But
I'm like hyped for it, because not just from I'm not gonna watch all of this stuff again.
Impossible.
But it's there. And the preservation aspect of it is exciting to me. And movies and TV shows have that mentality, but video games, I feel like there's this giant chunk of the industry that's not thinking about it. You know what I mean? Which is why, to me, having consoles be backwards compatible is so important.
Sure.
You know, and a lot of people are like, who cares about backwards? I never play the old games anyway. But you could.
You could.
You could.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing.
Well, and although most people probably won't play the old games, there will be people who want to play the old games. Mm-hmm, most people don't play Super Turbo, for example, but plenty of people do. And that's really nice to have.
Yeah.
You know, I know that you do this as well, but whenever there's a game that I really care about, I buy a physical version. Right. So I have physical versions of all the fighting games that I care about. Because it's important to me to have the ability to play my favorite games in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that matters to me. If there's a game that doesn't matter to me very much, I'll just download it. That's fine, because then I probably won't miss it. But if I then end up really liking it, then I go out and I buy the physical version eventually, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something that I'm worried about, of course. I think that it's going to be down to people who ignore copyright. I think it's basically about modders and hackers.
The guys
and
out there for the emulators,
to preserve our history. I really think that's what it's about. In the same way that like many games are only available now in emulator, arcade ROMs and that kind of stuff. You can really only get that there, and that's even true for some movies. For a long time, there was a lot of stuff that would just have been lost, but people intentionally copied old movies that were only had one copy of. And these are not like the great movies, but like there were important movies to movie history that could have died. Literally, the physical versions could have died.
And some of them they have.
And some have as well. But people, by copying them, which you can't do under copyright, were able to preserve them. There are actually some exceptions for preservation, but whatever, that's mostly ignored.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, like, even some of those ones that are lost, like, let's say the one that you get is, like, some super old version.
Yeah.
Then you get a company like Criterion, which goes into those movies, captures them frame by frame, and fixes them.
Is that so?
Oh yeah, they do that frame by frame. Like if they see like residue, or if it's like they will clean things up, take out artifacts and stuff like that. There's a whole process of it, which is why that's what remastered means basically. So Criterion actually goes and restores old movies and stuff like that. You know, I just don't know if that's something that we can do with video games. Although because they're digital, you won't have to restore them. They're digital, right?
Yeah, but you might have to do other things in order to make them still be available. I think that stuff's super, super important. Anyway, are you guys serious that Riot just showed off its fighting game for real? Let me know if that's serious.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Wait, where was this?
Alright. They just showed it off, eh? Can you give me an old linkety-link? Link? Do they even have Tom Cannon talking about it right now? What is this on? Twitch.tv/Riot Games. Okay. I'm just about to pause the entire Ultra Gen stream tonight.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is it over?
Is it done?
It says it's live.
But it's 10th Anniversary Edition League of Legends Riot Games stream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Well, they're just doing... Is that an advertisement?
And this one's different, so here it is.
No. It's a shooter? They're making a shooter? Am I on the right channel right now?
No, that's not the right one. That can't be the right one. It's over. It's over. So here's a clip.
Okay. They're making... So that's real, huh?
What the hell?
What? There's actually Riot Games, plural?
Are we allowed to watch this on the stream?
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
Are we allowed to watch
I don't
this
know.
on the
It's
stream?
fine. You got a lawyer. You know a lawyer.
Fair enough. Oh, man. This is crazy. Okay. Famous last words. Yep, I agree. Okay, let's see.
Sort of behind the scenes for such a long period of time, and you start to show it to the rest of the world to get feedback.
About a month ago at EVO, we were able to share news about Project L.
Hold on, it's really called
fighting
Riot
fans around the
Thunder?
world, live and in person. That was a crazy, surreal experience because we've been working on this for a little while, and we've always had to be so secretive. What I think League of Legends players expect from this game is different, but in some ways harmonious with what I think fighting game players expect from this game. Everyone wants a great game, but what we've been seeing is that people are really excited to see Runeterran champions like in a new light, even like from a new camera angle. Making fighting games is really, really tough. These are intricate games to make, and while we're a good ways towards making something that we think is really cool, we still have a long way to go. We're going to go dark for a while after this, so please don't expect anything soon, but know that we're here working hard for you.
Working on something.
Okay, well, there you go.
Breaking news!
Can you go directly to where they showed the footage? You just like try to fast forward a little bit. It was like halfway or so.
Runeterran game players expect from this game
a little
is different, but in some ways
a little
Back,
back earlier, yeah.
Okay.
for a little while,
Okay.
and we've always had to be so secretive. What
All right.
That's Jinx, right?
Yeah, it sounds right. Seems right, yeah.
League of Legends
Versus
players
maybe
expect
Viper?
from
I
this
don't
game is different, but in some ways harmonious with what I think fighting game players expect from this game. Everyone wants a great game, but what we've been seeing
that
is
was
that
Misfortune?
people are really excited to see Runeterran champions like in a new light, even like from a new camera angle.
Sure enough, it's a straight up fighting game.
Making fighting
Wow.
games is really, really tough. These are intricate games to make, and while we're a good ways towards making something that we think is really cool, we still have a long way to go. We're going to go dark for a while after this, so please don't expect anything soon, but know that we're here working hard for you.
Working on something.
So there was a little freeze. There was a few frames in there where they showed arcade cabinets. Did you see that?
Yeah. They had arcade cabinets with the Riot logo
Correct.
on the top of it. They were like versus cities, but
Yes.
they changed the top to be like Riot fists.
They did.
Do you think that?
I mean, there can't be an arcade release. It wouldn't make any sense. But that would be amazing if there were an arcade release. Imagine if there's an arcade release.
Thank you to Home Muffin, by the way, for the clip of
Oh,
that too.
key.
So yeah, shout outs to Home
Amazing.
Muffin. Thank you. That is crazy.
Better footage of the game, eh? Oh yeah, Panda Global has a little bit of a clip. I don't know where they got this. Is this from the stream as well?
I don't know.
It's a very short clip.
Where did you see it from? Where did
It's
you get
on-
the link from?
Oh, in the chat. People have been putting in the chat. Leave for TV just put in the chat.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I don't know if it's an arcade release, y'all, but I'm just saying that there was an arcade cabinet. Well,
Right.
not even of the game, right? It just had the Riot logo on it.
So let's just do this. Alright. So this is the other clip that we have here, which is literally 8 seconds long.
That was
That was
it.
it. Okay, it's literally 4 seconds long. So here we go.
Hey, who are these characters, everybody?
I've seen this character with the two tails before. I don't know her name. Ari versus Darius.
Okay.
Same characters here.
Alright, so, wait. Alright, do it again.
We are analyzing the clip here live on stream.
Alright, so she has Rapukin.
Yeah, a fireball, a ground fireball, Rapukin, and then this guy has launched into falling sky, essentially.
Sure. Okay, so he has Terminator Back 1.
Yep, that's it.
And there you go.
Okay.
Dang. Oh man, I played League, but I played it in probably 2013 was the last time. A really long time ago.
Right.
And maybe season 3. I don't even know what it is. What season it is at all. Anyway, don't tell my player clients in League of Legends that I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. That's right. We have to do. Can you make a funny face and I can do this? So we can make a reaction video. This is our reaction. Oh, what? Oh, what? I can't believe we finally have footage. I don't even know what to say.
Okay, alright.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I don't even know if that's how reaction videos go, dude.
I have no idea.
I don't know if I've ever watched a reaction
No,
video.
never.
I've definitely never made a reaction
No.
video. Oh no, I streamed the Guilty Gear trailer one time.
Oh.
But I mean, that was just me going yes, and
Yeah.
that was it. So
Well, okay. Well, there you go. There's some breaking news for you. So the Riot fighting game, which they didn't name, right? That's just like, it's not really called Riot Thunder.
It would be awesome if it was, but I mean,
Right? It's not, like, they didn't name it, right? Okay, it's not named yet.
Oh,
yeah, right.
okay, okay. It's a joke name. I think it's funny. I think
It
it's
is funny. It is funny. It's a good gag. Whoever came up with it.
Okay.
There you go. There's some big stuff. I mean, that is going to be very consequential for the FGC,
Oh yeah.
and in probably both good and bad ways, to be honest.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure we'll have much more to say about that in the future. But it sounds like not in the too near future. It sounds like that's going to be a while before we get any more info.
Okay.
Their FPS is called Project Area. Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that they had. I know some FPS guys who have been working at Riot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're
a
really
while.
trying to go all into the different directions then.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And a card game too. Jeez, they blew up all of a sudden.
Dang, I know.
They went
right?
from
In
one game for 10 years, and on their 10th anniversary stream, now they have 4 games. That's great. That's hilarious. And no, an MMO? Are you serious?
I'm sure that they're all years away, and I bet you, like StarCraft Ghost, some of them may just.
And an MMO? What? Oh,
And
by the way, that made me so sad at the time that StarCraft Ghost died.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
wow! Shoutouts to Riot, all of a sudden getting gigantic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Claky D, who does work for Riot. Last time I checked.
Does
anyway.
he? Oh.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, dude. He made that switch a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was their in-game observer for a long time,
Huh.
and then he did other stuff there, esports. I assume he's still there, but I haven't talked to him in
Right.
years. So
Okay.
anyway, okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Actually, VTN Wesley, no. Seth Killing is not at Riot anymore. So.
Yeah.
God, stop. Okay.
Yeah, he was a pro for a little while. Claky D was. That was on Team Mark.
Interesting.
Yeah, I learned a little bit more.
Okay. Breaking news. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
Hot
It's currently
off
being
the press.
pressed. Their stream is still live.
Yeah, I know,
So-
right? Okay.
I don't know
Anyways,
if there's any more fighting game footage. Let's see.
yeah, we were talking about I mean, see, and, you know, one of the cool things is that, you know, the Cannons were kind of interested in that preservation. They actually released Rising Thunder of what it was to everybody. They're
true.
just like, hey, here's the game. Host, you make your own server. We don't care. We just
right.
don't want this. For those of you who enjoyed the game, here it is.
That's right.
So that kind of thing is important. And that is one of the best things about the PC platform is that generally things can be ported over. Oh, sorry, Jasmine. She tried to jump up on my leg right when I swung my arm down, and I just totally blocked her.
Okay.
That is one night, but I mean, a lot of times you can't play them on newer PCs, right? Like it's just like we no longer support this platform, you know. And
You know
stuff
that
like
terrible
that.
fighting game I talk about sometimes with the great soundtrack called FX Fighter?
Oh yeah,
You ever talk about that?
yeah.
So, like 15 years after that game came out, I tried playing it again because I still had the disc. So I put the CD in. I don't have a tower that has a CD drive anymore, but I did have an external CD drive.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
So I put it in there, and the game runs at 1,000 miles per hour. And there's
Right,
just
it's
like no, yeah, literally
Yeah,
1,000 miles per hour.
uh-huh,
And there's just nothing to be done about it. Like unless I don't know,
right.
if you mod it or something, but I don't have that capability.
Let me see. Oh yes, I do. Oh, look at this. Check this out. You want to talk about hardware here that's going to be important here. Let me see if I can open this up. I bought this a while ago. I haven't used it yet, but I'm planning to. It's a USB powered 3.5 floppy drive.
Wow, it's modern floppy. That's
It's
so
a
sick.
USB 3.5 floppy drive. Because in a closet, I
actually-
have a crap ton of 3.5 discs, and I was like, I need to get rid of this.
Cool.
I need to back this up.
Cool.
Because there's a lot of stuff on there that's very valuable to my brother and I's childhood. A lot of our own creations, and we created a ton of stuff. We drew a lot of things. We wrote a lot of stories and
Oh, that's
stuff
so
like
cool.
that. And we backed them all up on 3.5 floppy disks. And so I got this so I can back them all up and preserve them that way.
That's
So-
awesome, dude.
So yeah, check this out, dude. Check this out. I think it is USB 3.0 actually. So, but yeah, there you go. So it's funny because I actually do have 2 CD drives in my tower right now.
In your tower? Oh,
yeah.
really?
But I also buy physical music CDs, which you don't
Oh,
do.
for sure,
so
for
I
sure.
rip them that way a lot of the time.
That makes
so.
sense, yeah. Who did I play in FX Fighter? I mean, if you know the cast, you obviously know that I played the robot with a command grab. You obviously know that. I played Saiban, of course.
Saiban? Oh, okay. Anyways, back to the preservation stuff.
Yeah.
It is fearful for me that that's going to happen. But the thing about it is competitive games, it's interesting because we're trying to enter this new phase, right? Where a company like League has no intention to release League of Legends 2. They want it to be like basketball in which it just stays forever, right?
That's right.
Fighting games it's never going to be that way. I just feel like fighting games are never going to be able to don't have any desire. I don't know if they could ever be that way, and I don't kind of want them to be that way. I like having crazy new things. Like, if we played the same 7 fighting games for the next 10 years, I would probably be sad.
We did play the same, 3 fighting games for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the new fighting games.
Yeah, it's great to have options, of course.
Yeah. Oh, God. There's no way I could stream those stories that I have on my discs, dude, because I would have to go into the lore of all the entire world that we built.
You made a universe?
Oh, we have...
There's a Chenverse?
There's
a Chenverse out there?
Such a big... God. It's a comic strip that me and my brother started when I was probably 4 years old. And we just drew comics. And it never stopped, and it grew all the way up until basically I was still in college, and right out after college is kind of when it died down.
That's
but
so cool.
We have hundreds and hundreds of characters. There's so much lore. The planet has a history and all this other stuff. Dang, it's really crazy.
You dooned it and everything.
But the thing
That's
is,
so cool.
it's all humor based, right? Because we were Peanuts fans growing up. Farside, Calvin and Hobbes. We read comics all the time, so we had our own daily comic strip. I have notebooks, just giant, thick notebooks full of comic strips that we drew.
It's so cool.
It's actually pretty crazy.
It is cool.
Yeah. The Genomatic universe.
Nice,
man.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yep.
Okay.
It's fun times.
That's
I
awesome.
dream about it all the time, too.
That's
That's
sick,
how
dude.
much of it's a part of my life.
Maybe you should get back to working on it.
I've thought about it, but there's been times where I'm like, I really should.
Yeah,
but,
you should.
It's
I mean,
hard.
even if you never show it to anybody else, I write a lot, and it's a really nice outlet for whatever.
Yeah.
It just is a great way to clear your mind, at least for me.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I also been playing the keyboard recently again, because it's actually a great way to clear the mind and stuff like that.
It's cool, man.
So, yeah, me and my brother actually even bought a scanner a long time ago to digitize all of our comics, and we just never sat through and did it. So we just have them sitting 3-ring hole punch in a thing, but all the sheets are in a plastic cover. Every page is in a plastic cover and stuff like that.
It's going to be published posthumously.
Yeah, maybe. It'd be crazy because it's an interesting world. Obviously, it was created when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So none of the characters look anything like humans or anything
Sick.
like
That's
that.
awesome.
It's just all aliens, and even the name of the comic strip is an unfortunate name that you can't use nowadays because back when I was 4 years old and the word didn't have the context to it, and stuff like that. It's really, really weird, and so, but it's fun. It's fun. So I miss it. Ligma. Yeah, that's right. The comic was called Ligma. What's Ligma? Preppy? No, Slippy. No. Ligma balls. No. Whoever did the voices in that video did a really good job. Oh man.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about what the future of competitive... Oh, we didn't even talk about what there actually will be. Yeah, I mean, it would be probably what we have now, right? I mean, we have these sort of ongoing games that you only ever get the final version of, and then you need to maintain those forever, or else hope that some hacker or a preservationist, whatever, in whatever way, comes by and preserves it somehow. But I really doubt that the companies themselves are going to go to the trouble to do that.
Especially given the fact that every time you see the companies do put in something, they bought or just using a third-party emulator.
Exactly.
How many times has that happened, right? I mean, was it like the classic NES and the SNES Classic and the NES Classic? They were just one of the emulators that's already out there, and they just reused them, right? So until someone creates a PlayStation 3 emulator or a PlayStation 4 emulator, we probably won't see Ultra Street Fighter 4 added to the 35th anniversary collection.
We have to do the work, essentially. Capcom's
Yeah,
not gonna do it,
So once we do it, then they'll be like, now we can put it in for no work, and then they'll do it that way.
Apparently, there is a PS3 emulator.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it myself. I don't deal in those.
I mean, Investigation Cone says DOSBox runs so many commercial old game releases. One time I was hanging out with him, and we downloaded like an Atari 2600 emulator, and we were playing just all the craziest 2600 games, and some of them were actually like it's. And actually, I was talking about this with another friend. It's so cool to see all those old consoles pushed to their limit. Like when you see the late 2600 games, it's like, whoa, these are kind of like, for 2600 games, these are amazing. You see the old NES games, for the NES games, this is really great, right? I don't feel like that happens anymore because consoles, even though they're lasting the same length of time, they're so powerful that that everybody just kind of does the same thing on them. And I feel like by the end, it doesn't feel like someone's pushing the console to its limit. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. Anyways.
We did talk about the Riot Fighter.
Dude,
for a
JQBZ, we just talked about it live.
Yeah, we did.
Just played the clip live.
All right. You want to move on to the next one here?
Yeah, Yoshi's Island, dude, on Super Mario
beautiful
World
still.
2 is
Beautiful game.
so good that when they made a new DS version, it was just a travesty. As soon as I saw Yoshi running up some stairs, I was like, I'm not getting this game. Because the way Yoshi had the different walk upstairs and everything about that game was just so beautiful. Oh, God, what a great game.
Absolutely.
What a great game. Oh, man. Anyways. Okay.
All right. League has an anime too? Are you guys serious? That company just turned into an actual game developer and publisher all of a sudden.
I know,
That's hilarious. All right. Here's the next one.
The other one that got 25% of the votes.
If Street Fighter V gets an overhaul, what new mechanics or changes would you want to see? My position on this, because I think we've kind of addressed this in the past, is that I don't want to see major changes to Street Fighter V. I really like Street Fighter V, and I don't want it to change that much. I'm totally down with a future Street Fighter 6 or whatever being a very different game. You know what I mean? I don't want to play the same game again. So I would love it if SF5 was basically the same. Okay, do I want Birdie's chain to be fixed? Yes. There's
Ken's face.
Would it be nice if
Alex to rotate his legs back in the correct. Sakura to get some
everything
good
for Sakura?
Yeah,
everything she does? Yeah.
God.
All of that stuff would be amazing if it were fixed. That definitely won't happen. That's less likely than that they give a new Super and a new V-Skill. Right? That's absolutely not going to happen. So I don't want big changes to Street Fighter V. I really like where it is. I really like how it's developed. I'd like new characters, still to come out, but not even that many more of those, to be honest. I feel like it's getting to the point where it's almost enough characters, and
it's hard to keep track of.
Would not be important to me to get many more at this point.
Yeah, it's a kind of an interesting situation here because yes, if let's say Street Fighter 6 is coming in 2 years, right? And again, this is total I'm making this up.
Yeah.
Don't read anything into this,
We
please.
have no knowledge. Come on.
Yeah, they never tell us anything.
Yeah.
If let's say it comes out in 2 years, then my answer would be leave Street Fighter 5 exactly as it is. There's no reason to change it. If there was this idea we want Street Fighter 5 to last another 5 years, then you would need, I feel like, some sort of major overhaul to bring some new interest in back and stuff like that in there. And again, what's interesting for me is a lot of the mechanics I've added, and we've talked about this a lot of times. I've talked about this on the stream a lot of times, is I'm not even looking to add any sort of crazy new mechanics. I'm actually trying to find weird, tricky ways to make people feel psychologically better about playing the game so that they enjoy it more, even though you're not really changing much of the game. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I feel like the game is in a great place. I think it's in a good spot.
Yeah.
But I just feel like psychologically it's not a rewarding game. People don't feel like that they're getting out of the game that they get out of other games. And I don't think that has anything to do necessarily with clearly this game is better. It's just you just don't have as much fun playing it.
I do.
Right. There's definitely a lot of people out there who do enjoy Street Fighter a lot and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, obviously the internet culture, the pile-on, dogpiling kind of culture has probably made Street Fighter V a little bit more of a bait of people yelling at it and calling it a trash game and stuff like that than normal. But at the same time, I think there is a little bit of, I don't want to say truth to it, but it's like I said, people when they complain about fighting games, they almost never actually know what they don't enjoy about the fighting game, right? When it comes down to it, most people hate fighting games because they can't win in it, right? And because they can't win in it and they don't have fun playing it, obviously it's a bad game, right? And Street Fighter V promotes that a lot. It's hard to win in this game because the game, I actually think, is one of the most brutal games out there.
Yeah, it's hard to play.
I actually think it's one of the hardest Street Fighters to learn, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right? And so as a result, I would try to do a lot of things. So like, for example, that whole system that they had in place of having moves that were negative on block, have a different block animation, would have been was a really sick thing to add to the game.
100%.
Right? Like that would actually be kind of cool to add to the game. And let's say a move is plus on block, your block stun will be different. Like, if you block a move that's
that'd be cool.
this, but if the move is plus on block, you would go, ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of give I would put more visual indications in there. I would make it so that if you don't quick rise or back roll, you can't be thrown when you get up.
Right.
Which makes you, I've talked about this one before, which makes you vulnerable to cross-ups. And the funny thing about it is, once you block the cross-up, guess what? You're in the same mix-up that you were when you got up, but because the player got up and blocked the cross-up, they feel like they did something and they're back playing the game, and all of a sudden that mix-up won't seem as bad because they felt like they got up, because that's just, like, Tekken changed a lot that way too, right? When it went from Tekken 5 to 6, and 6 and Tag 2 started getting up easier. Now in 7, apparently it's the easiest ever that you can to get up, and now everybody's playing the game. You know, hardcore people don't like it as much, but, you know, that's there's something psychological about just being able to get up again and fight. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So now it's just a freaking meme in here.
I think it is.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to psychologically make the game feel cooler. I would bring back Invincible Uppercuts.
I don't mean.
I would bring back Invincible
Cool with me.
Uppercuts. I'd give more characters uppercuts. I would also make it a new property that certain hitboxes just can't hit airborne people. So that way you can have an uppercut that can beat a ground move, but it won't beat.
That does exist.
Yeah, there's something like it.
Yeah.
It's like not quite, but
Like Sim has his stand jab is a 3-frame jab, but it cannot hit grounded people on frame 1. It's only frame 3 as an anti-air. And on the ground, it's 4 frames.
Oh, literally can't hit people.
It's coded not to
ground.
hit people on the ground.
So even if like
Abigail
Abigail threw a punch above it,
No,
and you
has
can't
to be
even jab
airborne.
it. Really? Okay, well then they already have it.
exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so those things exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, honestly, try to make some fireballs good again. So, but I know a lot of people don't like the invincible uppercuts. I probably wouldn't actually change that because people are used to how it is, and
I think it's fine either way.
Yeah.
I don't have a big opinion on that.
Yeah, but yeah, we saw the League of Legends fighting game already, Biosnake. We played it on stream. We even played that Panda Global clip as
sure
well.
did.
So yeah.
I also wanted to address, I thought, a good point that was up there that Jasmine just said.
Actually, it was Nathan down here.
Oh, Nathan, hello.
Yeah.
Wow, all right. If they are going to put out Street Fighter 6 anytime soon, quit working on SF5 right now. And just make sure that Street Fighter 6 will be good on launch. Just make sure it's not a repeat of Street Fighter 5's launch. All the effort, please. Please. Like, I would much rather just keep playing this existing version of SF5. Now, I also hope that SF6 is not coming out soon, because, I really like SF5. And to go back to the preservation idea, the only SF5 will have is whatever it ends up with. So I don't want big changes in addition, because, like, I'd like to keep playing this game for the future sometimes. I don't know how often I'll do that, but I probably sometimes at least. So
Right.
I'd like to keep that around. If
Right,
possible.
and that's why I have the caveat. I would only change it if they wanted Street Fighter V to live for another 5 years, because then I think at that point you kind of need a little bit of a shake-up, right? That's just the life cycle of fighting games.
Yeah, at that point it's over 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like you need a change like halfway
That would be
through
a
or
long
something
time.
like that, because fighting games have always done that. Alpha
Yeah.
1 to Alpha 2 to Alpha 3. I mean, those are 3 completely different games.
Wasn't that like 3 years?
Yeah, it was like the span of like 3
like
or 4
very
years.
fast.
Yeah, it didn't take long for that to happen. It's just it's again, it's maybe adhering to the old school mentality, but that's kind of how fighting games are. You just expect the new version, and it's cool to see all the cool new toys and stuff.
I definitely would want, if there's
So-
a SF6 coming out, I hope it's very different. I don't want it to be like
JT
SF5.
Circus, we did talk about the fighting games already.
Change the title to the show.
Yeah,
we did.
I know, right?
No,
dude?
it's cool. I'm happy to see that for sure. Mixed feelings, maybe more accurately. But
it's going to be interesting times.
yes, it will be very interesting times. I'm
Interesting
sure.
times.
I'm sure.
And that is a Chinese curse, right?
Yeah. May you live in interesting times.
times.
And we do.
Yep.
All right. Well, anything else to say about what you want to see in SF5 if it gets an overhaul?
Yeah, I mean, graphics and netcode and all that stuff is without question.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the game too much, but like I said, if it was to last 5 years, then I would probably try to throw in some sort of new mechanic. I would like to see some sort of extra new defensive mechanic just to make getting up a little bit easier than it is right now, so that we can get back to kind of a neutral space a little. But even the funny thing is, even watching modern Street Fighter V, like the game has that reputation of, oh, knockdown, here comes the mix-up. There was one time I was watching a very recent Street Fighter V match, and I was trying to count the times that the match got into the Street Fighter RPS mode, which is the block throw stuff. Like if you block a plus move, now you have to deal. And it really doesn't happen as often as people say it does. Yeah. There's actually a lot more neutral in the game than a lot of people say.
Really good footsies, I feel.
Yeah.
That's one favorite part
I mean,
about it.
some people do. Yeah, they call it Guest Fighter 5, but like it really isn't as bad.
I hear you. I think that complaint is basically like the complaint of Crouch Tech and SF4, where when it first came out, a lot of people were like, this is absurd, and they left. They quit playing it. And then they didn't pay attention to the next 5 years, where Crouch Tech became the basis of a really interesting new mix-up, and they just kept on saying forever, Crouch Tech, you can't be thrown in that game. They just was the critique for the next forever in the game, but it wasn't real anymore. I feel like that's how the SF5 guest fighter thing
to this
is.
day, I hate crouch teching more than I hate anything that happens in Street Fighter V. I've always hated the crouch teching in there because I was always bad at frame trapping people. I never could get for some reason, all my throws are telegraphed. And then when I didn't throw, they knew somehow. Every time I mixed it up, I could never get them. And I never understood why. And it was really annoying.
That's funny.
It's really, really annoying. And Spoats and Joes, I did see that. I was going to save it for next week because it comes out next week. But Skullgirls has been announced, the release on Switch. Second Encore will be out on the Switch on October 22nd.
So, we were briefly going to address the tweet that Javits put up, which is basically, do you want chip kills back?
Right.
And this is maybe something that could be in SF5. I don't know. That'd be a huge change. But in SF6, maybe?
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. In Street Fighter V, it's too late to put it in there.
Dude, you'd need to change too much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
With Grey Life in there? Come on.
Right. However, I hate no chip kill. I still hate no chip kill. I'd rather have it back. Because honestly, I don't feel like you're punished for having 0 life.
Well, you're not.
I just don't so if I have 0 life or I have this much life left, and I'm fighting against a Karen who can hit confirm crouching medium kick.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much life I have.
You're right.
And that drives me nuts.
Whatever.
You're not punished for having no life. And so it's I don't know, it's so meaningless to have 0 health outside of, hey, I can waste my whole super killing you, and...
Man, Honda would be so good with chip kills.
Dude, it would be amazing. Yeah, he'd be fun.
Oh, man. Well, it's already fine, but yeah.
I mean, the thing that makes me sad is that chip kill threat is not a true style of a character anymore.
No, it can't be in that game. Yeah.
Which, when you play other games, the reason why Guile was so terrifying, or Ryu, even if you had a life lead on Ryu or Sagat, Old Sagata's broken. That's a whole different story. If he was more balanced. But the reason why you can't just sit there and run away is because if you block fireballs all day, you're going to lose. And I miss the fact that chip death is not a threat.
The way to put it is, I think what Scargus says, which is that SF5 has few checkmate situations, which is true. There are not that many checkmate situations in SF5. It's basically just you have a super, the opponent either has a bad V reversal or certain supers that can just deal with that anyway.
Right, that just for some reason make it so you can't V reversal.
Yeah. So that's really about it. That's really about it. I'm cool with guaranteed checkmate situations, but I'm also cool without them. Like, my two previous favorite Street Fighters were Super Turbo, full of checkmate situations, chock full of them, and then Third Strike, which has almost none.
Right.
And I really like both of those. For me, like, there isn't a real preference between like whether chip kills exist or not. It's just I just feel like it's a different rule to play by, and you just play by the different rules, and it's fun either way.
And it's funny too because a lot of people say that they like no chip kills because then your victory feels earned, right? But I like chip kills because then I feel like your comeback is earned. Because without chip kills, I feel like when someone makes a comeback, I don't get excited about it anymore. Like when you watch that one guy in MVC2 and they have no life left, when you saw Justin Cyclops, kill everybody on Yipes' team without dying by chip, like you're just like, oh my god, right?
I mean, maybe you don't want that degree of difficulty.
Right. But you know, case in point that I feel like comebacks are so much more earned. I feel like the comebacks mean something. Right now, because it doesn't matter if I have 30% life or, say, no life at all, because if you have 50%, I'm going to kill you no matter what, and I'm not in any danger of getting chipped, right? So if I have 30% life and you hit me with your low forward kick and will kill me, you still got to do the same thing if I'm at 0 health, right? So it doesn't matter. So is really a 0% life comeback really a comeback in that game? It's not really, right? You still basically
less, certainly.
You basically still have 25% life because it makes no difference.
I mean, you can get hit by other damage, right?
Yeah.
But maybe Karen, everything can be consequential. That's like why she's so good. But in most matchups, you can maybe get hit once or twice. If you have 20% life at 0, you can't at all. So I do think there's a difference.
Right, overheads maybe, you know,
there
stuff
is a difference.
Like that.
But it's not as big.
But I prefer, and the other thing too is like if you die by a chip because someone knocked you down and they throw a meaty fireball and there's nothing you can do about it, and people are like, that sucks, that's cheap. You shouldn't have lost all that life in the first place, right? I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
The old classic adage in that situation is, what should I do? Go back in a time machine.
Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten knocked down.
For 20 years.
Yeah, What if that uppercut did one more pixel damage and you died there? All of a sudden it's not cheap? If that uppercut did one more pixel of damage, they died by the uppercut, now you're okay with it. But if I uppercut you and you're 0 health and then I chip you to death, now it's cheap. You got hit by the uppercut. You literally got hit by the uppercut. You know, I just don't think it's a valid statement.
Again, like I'm cool with it either way. I think it's interesting to have a game where you need to land a hit to get a kill, and I also think it's interesting to have a game where you don't need to land a hit. I think both are interesting, and they just need different gameplay.
Like I like what MK does. I like the fact that they have the chip kills in there, but if you have the defensive bars, you can take the 2 extras.
It's a good compromise.
It's a nice little compromise. I had thought of ways that, like in Street Fighter V, once you get to 0 life, every time you block moves, it just builds up your stun meter. And then after a while, you just block too much and you just fall stunned all of a sudden, and then you die or something. I don't know. Something,
Yeah, but the thing about MK, and Injustice as well, is that everything chips. So it's quite different. Like, normals chip. And yet, in those games, comebacks are not that uncommon either.
Right.
Even before there was, like in Injustice 2 and MKX, you don't really see a super use that often because it's just a resource that you use other stuff on. But you still saw comebacks, like, not uncommonly.
Yeah, and plus another thing, too, is people who are saying Tekken doesn't have any chip kills are kind of wrong. Because when people say that unreactable lows are like chip damage, that's exactly what it is. That's why whenever you have no life now, all of a sudden it's that much harder to win because of the unreactable lows. Because during the course of the match, you kind of just get hit by them because you're like, I'd rather not get launched by a mid and die. So I'll get hit by this unreactable low. I'll take this and keep fighting whatever. A lot of them don't lead to natural combos. When you have no health, guess what? It's the exact same mindset. All of a sudden, this thing that wasn't a threat anymore is now one of the biggest threats,
I can see that.
and you can't handle it anymore. So it's a very different. It's the same mentality, just done through a different way.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
Yeah.
Also, aren't there some things that actually do chip killing in Tekken
Well,
7?
now they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they do. There's some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't personally think that there's a good or bad side to it. I don't have a preference. I like both. Doesn't matter to me which one is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has to make sense in the context of the game. I don't think it would make sense in SF5. I think you'd have to change a lot about
That's
SF5
right. Wall
to make it make
splats
sense.
are chip kills. That's right. Yeah. Like there's like rage drives or something like that. If they push you into the wall, you'll die if you have no life or something like that. So
I don't think chip kills would make sense in BB Tag.
Dragon Ball probably not make sense much either. And I'm
I
okay
don't know.
with
There's
that.
not that much chip really in that game.
Well,
right?
I mean, people are throwing
I guess, yeah,
fireballs
I
and
guess.
stuff all over the place. So there you go. But yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
get
in
it.
BB Tag, individual supers can do 100% chip bar. Or they could, at least when the game came out. I haven't been playing
with
it, but-
resonance
yeah, and
built
resonance,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, the Tekken doesn't actually have chip kills, but they have what is essentially the same concept.
No, aren't there
Well,
supers that chip
what
bar?
I was talking about with the
Okay.
low attacks,
Okay, yeah.
right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking. So people are saying that, like, oh, what does that even mean? Like, that's not. It's the same concept.
It makes sense to me
Same
as a concept, yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Enough about this. All good?
Hey, dive kick had no blocking, so there's already a game with no blocking. So
That's right.
yeah.
You good on 5-5?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm good on 5-5.
All right. Let's move
Let's
on.
go to GGPO free license.
GGPO is now
GGPO.
free to use. They put it under the MIT license.
I didn't even know that was such a thing, but apparently there's such a thing
Yeah.
as an MIT license. So
Indeed there is.
I don't know what that means.
It's one of the more important software licenses.
Can you tell me about that, actually? Because I don't know what the MIT license means.
I'm literally giving a lecture tomorrow for University of Kansas students on software licenses. So,
Doing it through Skype or something like
Yeah,
that? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
oh yeah, right. Oh no, I need to be on the airplane right now. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I always have to look it up.
Okay.
It's permissive, so that means that you can kind of do more stuff with it. I think the license terms are really short. Yeah, okay,
Right.
it is. Yeah. Permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of the software and associated documentation files to deal in the software without restriction, including without limitation, the rights to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sub-license, and/or sell copies of the software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to the following conditions. The above copyright notice and this permission shall be included in all copies.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do whatever you want to with it as long as you show the same software license.
Right.
That's all. Yes, I mean that's one of the most important.
Yeah, it's just
software
sitting there on
licenses.
GitHub right now. The link now
Yeah.
is just on GitHub out there. And, you know, it's an interesting situation, though, because what a lot of people don't understand with GGPO, while this is obviously a wonderful, wonderful thing, and it's great, and now there's no excuse for people not to use it outside of, you know, boo gaijin kind of, you know, pride or anything like that. Like, people also have to understand that it's not just, hey, oh, cool. Oh, let me change my program. Let me take this out and take GGPO and put it in there. Yes, the game. Look at the netcode. Like, you have to make the game with it in mind.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What NRS did to go from their delay code to the rollback netcode in MKX is not an easy undertaking. But, as I've said to everybody else, they could do it because they had Warner Brothers money, and they also worked everybody to the bone. So, you know, that was probably the two factors that helped them get that accomplished,
I mean, they sold
unfortunately.
a bazillion copies of that game, so
Right.
you know, they had money.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's not like someone's just going to be able to go and take Samurai Shodown right now and be like, oh, cool, GGPO. You know, it's not a car part. It's literally not a car part. What people don't understand is the way that netcode generally works. There's delay netcode and there's rollback netcode, right? What happens with delay netcode is when the two machines are talking to each other, when they can't talk to each other, the game doesn't know how to resolve the situation, right? So rather than advancing forward, the game just slows down. It just stops. It's like, oh, okay, now, now we're caught up. So now I'll read their input. So even though I hit the button 10 frames ago, because of that 10 frame hiccup, your move isn't even going to start until 10 frames later. And that's a problem, right? And that's the worst case scenario, but it's really ugly when it happens. What rollback netcode does is that the game will go forward no matter what. One of them acts as the server, so it always acts as the true state of the game, and it takes all the inputs. When there's a hiccup, the game is just going to proceed as it's going, right? But as soon as it catches up, it's like, oh crap, this is what was supposed to happen. It'll go back to when it messed up, and one of the important things about GGPO is save states.
Yeah.
Which is why when Skullgirls implemented GGPO, their training mode could implement save states super easily, right? So they put in the save states in there. It goes back to that, takes the inputs that you put in, and then figures out what happened. And when you don't have to draw it on screen, you can do this in milliseconds.
Okay.
In the time of one frame, you can figure out what happened in like 15 frames without having to draw everything.
Okay.
And then you snap the game into the true state. That's why things jump when you see rollback netcode. Now, if you write it well, aka not Street Fighter V, basically that happens so quickly and so rarely that it snaps back into place in only 1 frame increments, 2 frame increments, so it's not really that jarring. When you have a problem with Street Fighter V where it's like just, I don't know what's going on there, but then that's why you get the
It gets
teleport.
desynced, right? As far as I understand, like
Yeah, like the 2 games get desynced, and once they figure out what's supposed to happen, it snaps it back. But the snap is so jarring because the desync is too big, basically.
okay.
So the thing about it is, the way that GGPO works is you have to build so much into the game, and it has to have resolution logic in there. One of the really important ones they were talking about is Tekken, right? Let's say I do King's Back 1 and it hits you and it zooms the camera in, and then it realizes that's not what happened. The camera's zoomed in, right?
Yeah, okay.
So do you just snap it right back out, or the camera started rotating because you did things? So do you just chunk the camera back in, or do you guide the camera back slowly so it's not like the camera's going tick, 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 tick,
Right.
every once in a while and stuff? So there's a lot of things that you actually have to do to make it work. It's not a silver bullet. It's not a free thing to just plug into your games and stuff like that. But now it's out there for you to use, and I think that's really important. And games that do it well end up like Skullgirls, which is clearly like the best netcoded fighting game out there right now. So, anyways, that's enough of my programming.
How is it
talk.
that games that weren't designed for netcode at all were some of the first games that were put into GGPO?
Mostly just because they're 2D games, and it is easy to snap them back into place, and because those things all had save state built into the client, right? So
Right, that's
Chimera,
true.
whatever like that, they
Yeah.
just had save state in it.
That's
Like
true.
MAME has it in there because they have it built in there already. That functionality exists outside of the game. So they use the save state functionality of the emulator to simulate that, basically. So
Okay.
there you go. Yeah.
That's cool. Anyway,
Hey,
this
I
is very
actually
cool
get to
news.
do a programming talk. You
That's
always
awesome,
get to do
man.
the lawyer talk, and I get
I mean,
to do,
I like hearing that. I don't know much about it, but I think it's very interesting.
yeah. But
cool.
I mean, that's basically how it works. So, Final Burn, yeah, that was one of the ones that they started with. So, yeah.
All right, well,
So I think GGPO coming out on there is really, really being free like that is really cool. But again, will we see Japan take it up? Like right now is the time to get it into. Like you're not getting it into Unist probably not Uniclear, but with
Yeah.
Guilty Gear 2020, I mean I'm sure that game's already 80% done.
yeah, come on, yeah.
Could they try to throw it in there? Maybe. I wouldn't bet on it
I
right
wouldn't
now.
bet on it.
So it'll take some time. Maybe Tekken 8. Maybe Soul Calibur 7.
Paco
you know.
Stevens doesn't think drivers being available is very meaningful because their performance cost is unfeasible to plug and play into games on consoles with set hardware, and the R&D cost of how it interacts and bugs cause.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. It's
I think
it's
what you were
not
saying
it's
more or
not
less.
a trivial thing to do.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you want to do it, that's why when KI made it work, they just pulled Tony in. They were like, "Help us," right? Or you get Mike Z in and have him help you with your thing because Mike Z has already worked with it directly, so he knows what's going on over there. So
Yeah, man, I think it's very cool for hobby projects. That makes sense, 100%.
yeah.
Alrighty, enough about this.
the League fighting game is 100% going to use GGPO. There's like
I mean,
zero...
they probably have buffed whatever, right? It's probably not GGPO. It's probably like the next,
Yeah, I know, right?
next version of it. So.
Yeah. It's funny because Mike Z will put out tweets that GGPO plus R. I like that. Mike Z puts out like coding jokes and stuff like that, or wow, check out this bug in the code and stuff, and I'll look at that. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I miss it a little bit. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm going to talk about a similar topic.
Instead of roll back net code, it's the roll forward net code. Yes.
Yep. That's right. Google wants to reduce Stadia lag with negative latency.
Negative
latency.
It predicts its thinking.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah. I wanted to put that joke
That's
out
funny,
there
dude.
the first time. I couldn't find a clip of any clip of it's thinking.
Really?
Dude, I could like in the GIFs, and stuff like that. I tried to look
I'm
up
sure it was
stuff
like a YouTube vid or something,
I
right?
think I was too lazy at that
Okay,
point to
alright.
go look for that. What was it? That was Dreamcast, right?
it was Dreamcast,
This is a
yeah.
Dreamcast, yeah. Now the thing about it is, this is actually a technology that people have said is legit, but it's not legit for fighting games. I think for other games, maybe it might be a little more legit, but...
So Maj Bakar, VP of Engineering, expects further improvements. Ultimately, we think in a year or two we'll have games that are running faster and feel more responsive in the cloud than they do locally, regardless of how powerful the local machine is, he claims. These improvements will come via a term which sounds rather slippery. Negative latency. Is a concept by which Stadia can set up a game with a buffer of predicted latency between the server and the player, and then use various methods to undercut it. There was an Edge magazine interview that this comes from.
Yep.
It can run the game at a super fast frame rate, so it can act on player inputs earlier, or it can predict the player's button presses. These tricks can help the game feel more responsive, potentially more so than a console game running locally at 30 frames per second with a wireless controller.
I can speedrun the game by doing nothing. Game's just going to predict all the optimal inputs.
Like, I think it's hilarious to think about how you could game this system. Like, my immediate thought is, like, how could I make Google Stadia think that I'm going to do the dumbest stuff possible in this situation, so that, like, I feel like you are going to be able to hack this in some way. Like, there's some way to break it to make the games themselves break, for sure.
Well, what that will mean is that they're going to implement some sort of rollback kind of method, because if they're wrong, it has to go into the correct direction, which means you might, if you play poorly, the game might jump around a little bit. Like, if you run to the edge and stop as opposed to jump, right? Like, is the game going to go, and then all of a sudden you fall off the edge, you know what I mean? Like, if you just suck and you hit the jump button too late and you just walked off the edge, like, is the thing going to make you go, and then you're falling, you know?
Like, does it predict on your own behavior, or is it like the mass of humans playing the game? Because if it was just my behavior, I would teach it the stupidest stuff. I think I would definitely spend time just teaching Google Stadia that I'm an idiot. I think that'd be so fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you know why I get so frustrated when I play him in fighting games. Okay.
But if it's the mass of all, if it's all humans who are playing, or whatever, everything who's playing Stadia, then you can't really have that influence anymore. If it's like on me, oh man.
Dude, I don't. Yeah, Google Stadia, they're trying so hard. But again, kind of going back to the, viewer question, like, it's just going to make it even harder to preserve games if it's on this weird
There's no way to preserve that. Come on.
Digital games just sitting there.
It's not up to you at all. It's entirely up to Google at that point.
Right, and if they are doing a research thing and they build up a knowledge base of AI to predict what you're going to do in the game, that's going to go away. That's going to get deleted, and then in the future...
Well, it'll become Skynet, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll become Skynet, because it'll predict everything. It's going to predict... Dude, and they just put Terminator in a fighting game?
What? You fools!
We're doomed.
You fools!
We're all doomed, dude. Oh, my God. Dude, somebody has a T-1000... Oh, it's Eris, of course. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. Future will all be streamed because we'll all be living in pods in space. That's what happened in WALL-E, right? So
Yep. I just watched that movie again recently.
Oh yeah? Oh nice, okay.
It was cool.
You know what one of my favorite movies is?
What's that?
Inside Out, and I still can't watch it a second time.
Oh,
I've still
yeah.
never watched it a second time.
You know what one of my favorite movies of recent times is? That
What's
I'm
that?
definitely not going to watch for a long time again, is Joker.
Oh, you saw it? Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a lot of good things and bad things about it.
Oh.
And so I kind of want to see it.
You should definitely see it.
I just kind of want to see it to get my own opinion on it.
I won't say anything about it.
Yeah,
but
my only problem is I feel like I might be already slightly biased against the movie, but because I don't want Joker to have a backstory. I've never been interested in Joker having a backstory.
Well,
I've never wanted to have sympathy for the Joker.
You should watch it.
So it'll be interesting. So,
I agree with you guys.
Okay,
I loved
next
it.
topic.
But
next topic.
I don't want to say anything about it
okay.
for sure. For sure. Anyway, negative latency. We'll see what the deal is with that. This
It's gonna predict.
Stadia is
everything.
gonna come out whenever, and I don't care about it. So
Emperor's New
I
Groove.
don't even have any more information on that because that's my extent of caring about
Boats
it.
and Joe says Emperor's New Groove and Spider-Man Into the Universe are the two best animated films. He's not wrong.
Those are good picks.
Those are really good
Those are
picks.
good picks.
So one of my favorite singers out there, Lights, who I'm just like completely obsessed
Yeah.
with, and I'm trying to like figure out how to like meet her and stuff like that because I've come close. She knows who I am apparently.
Okay.
So, but I'm a huge fan of her. One time I was watching a stream where someone asked her what her favorite movies are, right? And she was like, I don't know. I've never really thought about this. But I guess my initial reaction, if I had to think of two movies, would be The Princess Bride and Emperor's New Groove. And I was like...
Are you serious?
I was like...
Are you serious?
I was like, oh,
wow, okay.
No wonder you are my favorite singer,
That's
dude, in the
incredible.
world, dude.
You're
I
the
was
only
like,
two people in the world who would say those
Yeah,
two
I
things.
know,
I mean, those
right?
are both great movies,
Right,
but like,
yeah,
I don't know, I've never heard anybody else say that.
I was like, what? Really? Oh my god.
Wow.
Lights. That's her name. She's also a big fan of World of Warcraft and like.
Oh, she's a big nerd, huh?
Oh yeah, like she has like replica Kratos swords.
Oh my god.
I think someone told me, one of the people that was in the FGC told me that him and his girlfriend used to be on the same World of Warcraft server with her and
Wow.
stuff like that, and so yeah, she's a big old nerd.
Big nerd, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not my type.
God, stop it. Oh god. Her real name is not Lights, but that's what she changed her name to. So,
wow.
because she wanted to go by Lights, and that was technically already trademarked. But if your name is that, you can go by it basically. So
I guess.
her real name is Valerie Pox Leitner, and so she
Oh.
just took that part
God.
and turned it into Lights. I'm a big fan. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I've already admitted 100%. She's probably one of the only celebrities that if I ever met, I would probably actually just end up just completely at a loss for words and be totally dumbfounded.
Cool.
Because I think, dude, it was like I went to one of her concerts and she even had the Street Fighter footage in the background, dude.
I remember you talking about
Yeah,
that.
she had the Street Fighter footage in the background with
Huh.
Chun-Li beating up on people,
Okay.
strongest woman of the world kind of
Okay.
theme and stuff, and then it switched to like Sailor Moon and stuff like that. But I was like, dude, this is awesome. So yeah, she's awesome.
All right.
Anyways, let's change the subject.
Okay, sure.
Before I gush too much
Okay,
here and
sure.
and we're already past.
No, we're
being
definitely
weird.
past that, yep.
We're definitely past being weird already. So.
That's all good now. All right. What else went down? If there's nothing else to say about Google Stadia, which there's not.
No.
I'm not going to get it. I don't care about it. So, Guilty Gear 2020 Axel trailer was shown.
Yes.
Did you see him?
Yes, I did. Yes,
He's
I did.
chunky.
Yeah.
All the characters are beefy.
They're a little thicker.
There's
a little
definitely a
thicker,
beefier
like,
style.
Yeah, even May,
Yeah.
she's like puffier.
Yeah,
you know what
they're
I
all
mean?
beefier. Yeah, I don't.
uh-huh.
It's not bad. It's
No,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
different looking.
It's still, god damn, it's still like so beautiful, dude.
So
the game
beautiful.
is so beautiful
So
right
beautiful.
now, and I'm really excited for it. And they announced that a playable demo is going to be at Arc Revo World Tours. at Arc Revo World Tour Finals with 6 characters.
Yeah.
So we know 4 of them, and we don't know the next 2.
Those
yet.
are Sol, Kai, Mei,
and
and
Axel.
Axel.
Yes. I'm super excited. Was that this weekend?
Yeah, it was. And you know what? I actually watched a lot of it, and I forgot.
UDF was this weekend?
It was.
Oh, shoot. Dang. Okay. I see Guest Perry God says Angie or he's going to play the new Tom Cannon, Tony Cannon fighting game. It says Angie or we Riot, right?
Nice.
So there you go.
Nice. I'm looking for the Smash GG for this. Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Shoot, I just totally missed that. That's my bad. That's my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. I watched a lot of Undefeated, but just forgot to talk about it.
It's weird. It's really hard for me to keep track what we like. Even if I watched some of it this past weekend, I just like it's so hard for me
I
to
hear
keep
ya.
track.
I
There's
hear
so many
ya.
things.
Yeah, Axel was cool. I'm very tired of the music.
I saw you post that and I'm upset.
I'm very
I'm
tired
sad.
of it.
That is bullshit blazing.
Doesn't do it for me.
Bullshit blazing.
Doesn't do it for me.
The new world order.
Not any
now.
better singing.
Now you will know. There ain't no the smell of the game. Dude, it's so good.
I'm
dude.
not sure.
It's so good.
It's not for me.
I love it, dude.
I liked it certainly the first several times I heard it, but
That
now
is
it's
bullshit.
maybe time for the next one. I don't know.
Blazing.
The next stanza at least or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they should. I hope the November 3 trailer just has the whole song.
Yeah.
You know, so that was another thing they announced is that they said that there's going to be a new trailer on November 3rd, which will reveal a lot more because it's going to be really close to Arc Revo. In fact, reveal some of the game systems and stuff like that. Someone even pointed out to me that we haven't seen an air dash in any of the trailers yet, and that's terrifying, but, you know, we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see.
Guilty Gear without an air dash.
Yeah, I know, right? If it didn't have an
That's-
air dash...
If you
like,
had to pick like 3 things that define Guilty Gear, air dash would be one of them. Absolutely.
Roman cancel has
on,
to be.
like, it's-
Yeah. But... Yeah, okay, or we could have a new track. I'm down with that. And honestly, like, you can't even complain about the lyrics when you listen to Heavy Day a little bit more clearly, right? Or Birthday Train. I mean, come on, dude. You can't even complain about it. Yeah, I know, and they're called air dashers, dude. I had the entirety of Heavy Day memorized lyrics-wise one point in time, but I don't think I could actually do it anymore right now. Birthday Train, I mean, come on. You're talking about Tuesday trains and Wednesday trains,
I'll have to Google
Thursday
these
trains
things.
and stuff. You can't even get mad at the lyrics for these songs, dude. It's not...
I mean, nonsense doesn't bother me.
Right.
I'm just tired of hearing the same thing over and over. That's all.
That is bullshit.
Okay, all right.
What a heavy day. God, the soundtracks in those games are so
It'd be weird if Gear didn't have air dashing. Absolutely
yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
I think you got to expect that. So at C Major, there was also a Soul Calibur 6 Season 2 trailer.
Yes. And
New moves and stuff. Okay.
I'm kind of upset with it.
Okay.
I'm actually upset with the Soul Calibur 6 trailer because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time for so many fighting games, dude. That was one of the games that I dropped from my, what is the word?
Yeah, that's fine.
How do you pronounce that word?
Oh, your works, your oeuvre?
Yeah, uva, that word. I've never known how to pronounce it. But dude, like, it looks sick. It looks like everybody
looks sick,
gained EX moves. I think that's just really what I think you're gonna have the ability to use EX moves because every time you see stuff in the flashes like that, that can't be new meter. That can't be new supers.
You want to put it on while we're talking about it here?
Yeah, dude, it looks so good.
I do like the smell of this game.
You like the smell of this game? Burn. Let's see.
Come on, Linky Link.
Where is it? There it is. You are... Sorry, it's stuck in my head now.
Kira and Zaga.
You know the smell of... Okay. It's totally stuck in my head now.
Oh no.
Okay. I need to get something else stuck in my head now. Alright, here we go. Yeah, people know too. Whenever I'm sitting there playing Breath of the Wild, and I like actually I just start breaking into songs half the time, and so many of the songs that I break into are light songs, dude. It's crazy. Here we go.
Okay.
Bandai Namco. Unreal Engine. Yeah, David should have never told me to sing the songs. I never sing them. Brand new moves.
The wait is over. Let's begin.
But see, we got a lot of moves where the screen goes dark, and then there's like this really cool effect.
Ooh, that was cool.
Like, what is this? That can't be a new super, right?
Maybe. What in the world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that, dude. Give him a gun. Give Cervantes a gun. He's always at
He had a gun. Yeah.
Destructive order.
Pretty cool looking. Whoa, okay.
Ow!
Not well, huh? We'll slide after.
Yeah, that's like Hakan super.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's pretty choppy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, it's choppy.
Show yourself, Soulman.
Huh. Cool. Well, I think that looks very cool.
But yeah, like I said, it totally looks like there are EX moves or something like that,
Yeah,
right? It just looks like there's EX moves.
I can see that.
So it actually looks really cool. I'm actually kind of excited about that. But God, like I said, dude, the amount of work I'm putting into Tekken right now, dude, I don't have time for a single other fighting game, dude.
Hey, man.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Gotta prioritize.
Ugh.
Well.
I played Tekken 7 for 7 hours. I played Tekken for 1 hour of every game that's existed in the Tekken. That's actually not true because there's 9 games in the Tekken series.
Don't forget.
But I played it for freaking 7 hours on Monday, dude. I totally did not mean to do that.
Actually, wasn't there another one that was like free to play or something?
Oh, that's right. There was that weird
game?
Tekken Revolution or something like that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways.
There was Granblue Fantasy news as well. You want to put this one up there? It's a little
Sure,
linkity link.
I mean, I'm just scared if it doesn't look good on the stream because this thing is so beautiful.
I know.
And this might just totally do it an injustice, basically. Here we go. Granblue Fantasy from Cygames. Not full screen this one. I'll just put it here like so.
Alrighty.
This is obviously by the same Arc System Works technology, and so it just looks so beautiful. I mean, look at these graphics.
Wow, look at that. Amazing.
And again, I'm really excited by the kind of beginner stuff that they have. Look at this.
That's a video game
This is
that you can play.
This,
Well, soon anyway.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, it's so cool looking. I don't know. I mean, we were saying before, we don't know anything about these characters, but they look sick.
yeah, I know.
I don't know who she is. I don't know who he is either, but he's a big fella.
Probably your main or something.
Could be,
like that.
could be.
If he has a command grab.
I mean, I don't need my characters to be big. They're just usually big because that's who has command grabs.
That's why I wanted to play Makoto in Third
Yeah.
Strike. She was a small grab.
That other character already has command grabs. I don't know the name. Ladiva, maybe? Ladiva?
Look at that. It's not a drawing. You know what I mean? They could pan a camera around that thing if they wanted to. I mean, it might as well be a drawing though, because they're posing every frame one by one anyway. It's actually a sick cover art too.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice artwork.
I agree.
2/6/2020. And like I said, I'm really excited with a lot of the things that they have talked about. For beginner-friendly aspects of the game, having like the extensive stats afterwards, having like modes where the two of you can fight a boss together, and having the single button special moves, but you're better off doing the actual motion. There's a lot of cool ideas with it, so I'm actually eager to see how this turns out. I don't know if I'll play it, but I'm really eager to see what it can do for the fighting game genre, and if a company that makes card games out there can do a good job of teaching people how to play, even though I feel like Teppen doesn't really have great tutorials in there, but it's another story.
Well, I mean, Side Games is not making the game, right? They just licensed it to Arxis, presumably.
I hope so. I hope that's.
I assume the whole thing was developed by Arxis.
Yeah, and I hope they're the ones. Like, I don't know if Arxis was the one that was like, we're gonna put all these stats and stuff. Like, I don't know if Side Games was like, make sure you put all this. But
I have no idea.
They probably have. It's probably a little of one. It's probably half a dozen in one hand and 6 in the other. Forgot what the phrase.
Half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. Yeah.
I was about to say like 2 times of 3 the other.
Well, that's fine too, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are 11 characters in it, and some folks are saying that's too few. It's whatever. Yeah, it doesn't
Skullgirls
bother
came
me at
out
all.
with 6 characters. Skullgirls had 6 characters when it started.
I mean, that's
fine.
why too few.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But at least in that game, there was a lot of mixing and matching you could do. It's not like there was more control over it. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine for me. 11 is fine.
I think 11 is a great number.
That's good
to be
for me.
honest with you. You put too many characters in there, it's hard to get into at first because you get overwhelmed. Like right now, it's really hard for somebody to get into something like Street Fighter V because there's like 40,000 characters in that game. Tekken 7, that's the problem that I'm having right now, is that like I'm like fighting all these guys and I'm learning how to fight these guys, and then I fought an Eliza yesterday. And I'm just like, what the hell is this character even doing? Because she's canceling moves into special moves. And I've never had to deal with that before. You know what I mean? She's throwing fireballs and she's doing things that other characters can't get away with. And I'm just like, she's an EX uppercut.
Right.
So like when I'm plus frames, I'm like, ding, ding. Or like when they're negative, I'm like, time to counterattack. It's my turn. EX. And I'm like, what is happening? Dude, I got destroyed by
Sounds
this.
like it.
I got so destroyed. And it's weird because you feel like I should be good at that because it's a 2D character style, but because I'm just like so ensconced in what I want to do with
I hear
Tekken.
you, man.
Anyways.
Well, in any case, I don't particularly like expect to care about the Granblue fighter all that super much, but that was my position on some of the games that ended up being games that I really liked. Like the last, other than Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or whatever the NRS game is, like the games that I've been like most interested in fact in the past like several years have been that. Like BB Tag, I was like, and then I loved it. And Soul Calibur, I was like, but then I loved it. Like that just happens to me a lot, so I wouldn't say that that's not going to happen for Granblue either.
Yeah,
I'm definitely open for it.
GG 2020 will probably only start with 12 characters, maybe less. Who
That's
knows?
cool.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So
cool with me.
Okay.
All right. Big news.
Big news.
Street Fighter V.
Oh, that's right, because at Brazil, they said they were going to announce something new.
Big news.
And Ono, the way he stated it too, I think he said something like, I know you guys are looking for... Oh no, this was for something else.
Yeah, he was just like, it'll be about esports or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was athletic costumes.
Free athletic costumes for everybody. For free. And that means every character, including Sakura and including Cammy, even though I know it's like the 3rd costume, they have pants.
It also means G finally gets a new costume after a year and a half.
Did G really never have
He doesn't have any costumes.
Well, no, he has the Q costume.
Yeah, it was one of the
That's
launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story one, and then there's the battle one where he's got a gun, and then there's the regular one.
That's right.
Same 3 that everybody has.
Yeah.
He's got nothing else. Shout outs to G for his 4th costume.
and everybody's just wearing tracksuits.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Olympics inspired, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's-
that's right.
It's clearly for
I
their
totally
Olympic
couldn't
stuff.
make that connection.
Oh, yeah,
I was
okay.
just like, what the
So, my guess, and other people have been saying the same things as well, are that it's for the Olympics, right? Because they have this tie-in with the Olympics itself, as we've discussed in previous weeks, and it's like for viewers or viewer markets or whatever that don't want to have like Laura showing underboob or whatever.
Oh, that's
Now
true.
you have like covered up more or less.
That's right. Every character has a covered up costume, so
Yeah.
they'll probably only use them during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only costumes they can play at the Olympics.
And probably
That's
maybe
all
not
that.
just there. Like, would ESPN want to put those on, like rather
Right,
than
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. You just universally made sure that
Now,
you don't have the potential for Yuri and banana hammocks and Laura being Laura.
Like, it'll be interesting to see if there are any secret costumes in it, like many
Oh,
costumes
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah.
But even in those, it'd be really surprising if there was like underwear versions or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
know.
Probably not.
Okay, yeah. But then he also said something like, "Oh, if you guys, I know you guys want like new content, new characters and stuff. Well, at the North America Regional Finals and at Capcom Cup, we will have new announcements for you." And it's such a disconnect that it doesn't mean that there's going to be like new characters or whatever like that, but I feel like it's bait. I don't believe
Yeah.
it. I don't believe it. So, I mean, sure, maybe last year everyone was disappointed because at the end of North America Regional Finals there wasn't any sort of like, like Akuma tease.
Yeah.
Maybe they will do something like that
I hope
this
so.
time or something.
I hope
but
there's something.
I just can't.
And then maybe at Capcom Cup, maybe it'll be like the next day characters come out or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope that they don't do that again, because then there's a risk that they screw it up in the same way that they did before. How about 2 days later? Is that cool? Just to make sure.
And and they're cursed because they weren't even the one that messed up the Evo reveal.
The Evo reveal was not them.
Yeah, that was Steam's fault. Man, it's rough, dude.
It's been rough for them, no doubt. No
They're
doubt.
seriously cursed.
Both from
honestly.
within and from without.
Yeah.
In addition, new Red Bull costumes. Ooh, they're very Red Bull-y.
Yeah, they're Red Bully.
Sagat, Lucia, and Honda.
Oh, was it them? Oh, okay. So that means my brain died. Poison didn't get one. Poison didn't get one.
No.
Okay. I was like, who the hell is the third character?
All right. That's all I got for community news.
Did
Sorry
they
for game
actually
news.
say there are 2 characters in November? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
Why would they do that?
Yeah,
At the very end
no.
of the season, they'd put 2 characters out.
Yeah,
That wouldn't make any
that
sense.
wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. I don't believe it. So.
Anyway, we just confirmed that it'll happen because it doesn't make any sense. But I don't know.
Okay. Anyways,
I hope
what
not.
else do we got? What else do we got?
Okay, let's talk about community news. Here's a interesting story. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is heading to EVO 2020, where it will be
The main
title.
Yes. However,
However,
how many people are going to go to it?
Well, probably everybody, right? It's EVO, for sure. January 24th to 26th, they've already marked that out as being like the time that they're going to have it, so it's certainly nothing. Oh!
Genesis.
It turns out Genesis is the same weekend.
Yes. Genesis does what Evo don't.
Wow.
Didn't work. God, does anybody even remember that terrible slogan?
I don't know.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
It was
I
great.
never believed it, by the way, but
Oh yeah, well, Super Nintendo was by far better.
yeah.
But I mean, the funniest was when Sonic the Hedgehog first appeared on the cover of a Nintendo Power, and everyone was like, "Is this a time paradox? Like, what happened? What happened?"
I remember feeling very weird about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine owning a Genesis instead of a Nintendo. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, the Genesis was good. There are some good games on there. There were some good games. In fact, I love that it was confirmed that everybody, talks about Dune 2, I think, the game, as the first RTS that was out there. But in fact, it was actually Herzog Zwei on the
Okay.
Genesis because there was interviews with people who worked on Dune who were like, yeah, we played Urza's Vi and we loved it, so we were like trying to go that direction and
That's
stuff
hilarious.
like that. So Urza's Vi is clearly the original, and I tweeted about that, and then someone corrected me
Okay.
and said Urza's Vi is actually a sequel to another game on the Sega Master System. So that's actually
No
the
way.
But the cool thing about it was when Urza's Vi came out, like they showed it, like EGM gave it like 4s and 3s because they didn't get it. They didn't understand how you were supposed to. They were like, what is happening in this game? It doesn't make any sense.
Interesting.
But like when me and my brother and our friend played it, we were like,
Yeah.
this is the greatest
Before its
game
time. That's
ever.
hilarious, dude.
It's such a great game.
Very interesting.
There was obviously like game mechanic flaws in the game.
I barely remember now.
But like, God, at the time, what an awesome game. What an amazing game, dude. What an amazing game. Anyways.
All right. Anyway, this
Rise
sucks.
from your grave.
It sucks. You know, I mean, what can you say? That Genesis and Evo
Yeah.
Japan are going to be
The
on
worst
the same
thing about that
weekend.
means is that anybody who was in Japan who might have thought of traveling to Genesis might just go, well, I'll just go to this one because it's closer and
So I
easier.
kind of expect them still to go to Genesis.
I would like to hope so. I hope like all the strongest Japanese players
Yeah.
would still go to Genesis, right? But that's what I mean. I don't mean the strongest guys. I mean like the guys right under there who might have just said, you know what? I've always wanted to go to Genesis. Oh, there's one that's right here in Tokyo. You know what I mean? I'm sad about that. And it's
Have players talked about that? Have they confirmed which ones they're going to do? Yeah, I thought that they were going to Genesis. That's what I thought.
yeah, I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
Yeah,
To be honest, that it just
Because a lot of
they've
people have
already
already
signed up on
registered.
Smash Bros. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
so that's also kind of an annoying thing too. If you are a Japanese player and you're like, "What? I registered for this, and now I could have just gone to this." You know, it's an unfortunate situation. So.
Oh, you mean that they've signed up for Evo, not for Genesis?
Oh really? Oh, all the Japanese are for Evo. They've already signed
Okay.
up for that. Ooh, okay.
That sucks.
Dang. Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation. That makes me sad. It's always, it's tough because there's just no free weekends anymore. This is why I lose track of when
I
I've
don't
seen
know about
anything.
that. I mean, there are lots of weekends where things happen, but are there two of like the biggest tournaments in the whole
Right,
year
yeah,
on the
I
same?
know,
That's not
right.
very common.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting situation. I mean, this weekend, for example, is probably one of the biggest events all year, which is the Classic Tetris World Championships.
Uh-huh.
Is going to be this weekend, so you guys definitely want to tune into
you going?
that. I'm going.
Sweet.
I'm going.
Awesome,
Taking
dude.
off on Friday. So.
Cool.
Be heading out there, gonna do some commentary for some Nest
That's
Tetris,
awesome, dude.
and have some good time out there, and it's gonna be so much fun.
That's
It's gonna
great.
be fun.
And-
And it's huge. Like it keeps growing.
Growing,
So
that's
big
great,
now.
that's great,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really cool. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'll be at East Coast Throwdown this weekend.
Oh really? Oh, for Mortal
Mortal.
Kombat, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. There you go.
Anyway, yeah, it's crappy news. I mean, I don't know what to say about it really, other than that it's unfortunate. I don't know the circumstances of why this is an overlap or whatever, but it's a bummer for sure.
Yeah. VT and Wesley asked why Nest Tetris, because they never stopped playing that version, and it is the most brutal version of Tetris, and it is a completely different Tetris game than all of modern Tetris, and so it requires different sets of skills, and it is a lot of the modern Tetrises, it's very easy to survive almost indefinitely. So like if you play on Puyo Puyo Tetris, like you will just never die. Like you will live forever because the game just doesn't get any harder, right? On Tetris Effect, you'll die because if you play Master Mode, because it just gets to the point where it's ridiculously fast. But even then, people can play it. But Nest Tetris is basically like the you have no favors version of Tetris, and so there's a certain set of skills, and they just never stop playing it. And they've been doing it year after year after year. And there's no reason to change it, because if you change it, you're basically changing it from like Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
Like it's a completely different thing.
I get it.
So yeah.
Cool. There's a new Razer controller. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
I did, and it looks really cool to me because it's the closest thing to a Saturn pad in modern times, I feel like.
Yeah, it's pretty Saturn paddy. I agree with you.
Because it's got the 6 buttons actually lined up.
On the front, on the face.
Yes.
That is cool.
What's the...
It has an 8-way direction D-pad. Tactile D-pad in some way.
One of the cool things is that it uses micro switches apparently for the buttons instead of the weird rubber pushy button contact things. From what I had heard, I think that's
mechanical switches.
Yeah, mechanical switches. So instead of, because the way that it's always worked is you've had those little rubber pads that you push down with the contact on there, and it covers this to make
makes it a little circuit.
Yeah, it makes the circuit complete. But this one is actually a switch, so they actually put mechanical switches on this one. So that's actually super super cool.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, it sounds cool. Looks nice. Sounds cool. It will be $99.99.
It's expensive.
USDs.
But I definitely want to try it out.
But it's available, sounds like basically all over the place, with the exception of US and Canada. But it will be available soon.
That means it's available nowhere. Because US is what counts.
Doesn't even matter. Not yet.
Baby.
Yeah, it's very pretty looking. Let's see what else. I don't think there's much else. Oh yeah, the Desk Marvel vs. Capcom combo video.
Good.
I watched it.
It's so good.
It was cool.
It's so good.
He is a magician.
He's a monster, dude.
It's a combo video in Marvel vs. Capcom, right? Mm-hmm. When he does combo, and it shows his inputs, his actual hands.
His hands are there.
The way he inputs things, it just looks like no big deal.
Right.
Like, If I were doing that, my hands are like and he's just like, it's like very easy looking. And
that's why I keep saying execution's not that hard. A lot of people out there think it is about going.
No, it's not about freaking out, obviously. But I mean, if you haven't watched it, I'll put the little link in the chat.
Yeah, put the link in the chat.
If you haven't watched it, you will be. It's cool, even if you don't know the game. I don't know the game very well, but it's cool to watch, and especially I think cool to watch his hands as he does these difficult combos. He's doing like instant air stuff, and it's just like it looks easy.
Yeah, because a lot of the times it's a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the execution is about understanding the game systems. Whenever you see me trying to figure out why I can't do a combo, I'm always trying to I basically stop and like try to figure out what lets me do it or not. It's not about just the magic that, it worked because I remember trying to do a Chip combo where you do off the wall dive and then you could juggle him afterwards, and I could never do it, and Chip was always, I could never get him to attack, and I had to figure it out. So all I did was just go to the off the wall and do the move. And I found out if you're low enough to the ground, he touches the ground first, and then he has recovery animation. But if you're higher up on the wall, he does it, and it stops in the air, and he lands with no recovery. So the whole trick to the combo was to make sure everything's set up to put Chip as high as possible. And then all of a sudden the combo became easier to do.
That makes sense.
Stuff like that. That's the kind of things that you need to figure out. So.
Yeah.
Yes, JGB, we have talked about the Riot game. We played the clip right here on the stream. We had live breaking news. We even had the banner going across the screen that went. No, we did not. So I do not have any of that technology.
That's it in terms of news. Let me just say that Undefeated Tekken 7 was won by Mixbox Kudance.
Was Undefeated this past weekend?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what I was saying.
UDF. That was Undefeated. That's right. Okay.
I even watched a bunch of it. And I
got that confused with UFA. Is what I got it confused with. Yeah. See, that's why I thought UFA was like 2 weekends ago, and it was.
Yeah, UFA.
Yeah, okay, so that's why I'm getting mixed up. Okay.
Ultimate vs. Capcom 3 was won by Granblue River.
Ooh, okay.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
I always love watching that team. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite by TXC Stealth. Dragon Ball Fighters by Clay Sculpture. Smash Bros. Ultimate by LW5B Rice. Street Fighter 5 by BDG Didymokov.
Oh, dang. Nice.
Under Night by XIT Squish Squash Apples. MK11 by Morty Phoenix, right? Not Morty Seinfeld. Morty AZ Phoenix, who's been killing it.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
yeah, for sure. BB Tag by 7110.T. And
sounds like a
Melee
protocol.
by Trough.
Okay. Good stuff. Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch Marvel. I really enjoyed it.
I missed that game.
I definitely missed both of those games. Yeah, both Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite. Very cool to watch. A lot of fun, and it's really cool to see people still playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you watch the Marvel 3 and it's not the same high level. Like even the players themselves, I'm sure would say the same. Like they just haven't kept up with it in that same way. So you see some drops and stuff, but it's still really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
Anyways.
Big bummer.
Yeah.
Also, really nice job on commentary to both Ruin and Gouken Respect, who I think are both really good commentators.
Oh,
but,
cool. Okay.
Like, their games just, like,
Yeah.
they died or whatever, so that sucks.
Oh, boy.
I think he still does Pokken, actually, Gouken Respect.
I didn't actually sleep much last night, so apologies about that. Just had a big old yawn there. Okay. I just made sure that, you know, when one of my units gets destroyed, I get 4 MP.
Yeah.
I'm at A1 with 5 stars. I'm so scared to play another game.
Talking about Teppen.
Teppen, yeah. I'm at A1 at 5 stars. I'm right there at champion. And as much as I hate Wesker decks, the Foreign deck is really cheap. I admit
It's
that.
pretty cheap, yeah.
It's pretty cheap, but I still hate Wesker.
Once I understood more about it, I thought it went from being, like, really cheap to being, like, it's good.
The Forgan deck, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Four Eyes one that steals your card,
Yeah.
like, just, like, you're just like, how is this even allowed? Until you figure out that it's so specific.
Yeah,
the
if they have
conditions.
2 cards out,
You
they can't do it. So that's when you play your big dudes
Yeah.
and don't do it otherwise. Just hang out otherwise.
If they have an empty board, you don't play your big dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then they can play a 4 to block it, do the damage,
Yeah.
and steal it.
100%.
So if you see they have one card out, play someone else in another lane. Like if it's a Devil Joe, then you gotta like block it because you're taking 6 damage all day, and you're like, crap. And so they gotta block it. Now you have 2 cards out there. Now 4 Eyes doesn't work. So, yeah. Did we talk about the Japan Saga DBFZ event format? No, I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I'm 1 away from making champion, and
Nice.
I'm so scared to play and lose and have the salty drop, which I had in Tekken yesterday, because I made it to red ranks. I actually told myself that was my goal for Techtober, and I
Right.
did it halfway through the month.
Right, that's
I
cool,
got
dude.
there halfway through, but then I dropped back down to orange, two levels, but then I got back up one. So I'm
Nice.
1 away now. But yeah, I got beat up by. When you get into the red ranks, that is no joke. All of a sudden, the players, the level of the players, all of a sudden shoots up pretty drastically, and there was players that I clearly could not touch at all. I
I
could
bet
not
that.
do anything to him. So
Thanks for the sub, Pedantic Sim.
oh, thank you.
I've actually been playing SF5 online lately, and it's just because I felt like I wasn't getting enough matchup knowledge. Not even just for playing, but for commentary.
Right, yeah. Mhm.
And it's just not a great online system, obviously. But yeah, it's been important, I think, to help like remember what other characters do and see new stuff for the first time.
Yeah. Let's play offline.
What
dude.
you know, I play offline like once a week, man. We're gonna go play tomorrow. The guys that I play with in the valley.
At Wednesday night. Okay.
Not at Wednesday night
No,
fights. but
not on Wednesday
tomorrow
fights,
night,
but
yeah.
tomorrow night is Wednesday. All right, let me know.
We're doing it. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, I just mean remind me
Sure,
and
we'll
stuff
do.
like that. Like when you're about to go or something
we'll
like
do.
that. Let me know.
Totally.
So, because
Yeah.
I really want to just get some timing with Poison Honda and Lucia.
Totally.
And just really see how they go. So,
Yeah, let's play for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have been playing online. I made it into. I started in the doldrums, and now I'm in Ultra Platinum.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I just got there, but you know, I'm definitely not grinding to like get a certain rank in Street Fighter Online. I just think it's like not worth caring about the online play in that game. But it is good for the matchup knowledge at least.
I've been trying
What
to
do they
gain
do?
it just by trying to watch some matches online.
Yeah.
So.
Well, totally. I do that as well, but I think it's valuable to like feel it. You know, It's not a torturing process because I don't view it as like important.
Right.
It's like if I lose, it's like not a big deal.
Right.
If I win, it's also not a big deal. I'm trying to know stuff. That's all.
Yeah, as someone actually said to me when I tweeted out my Tekken stuff, they were like, "Imagine playing ranked in 2019." I was like, I want to learn. And
Just
it's
learn
like,
it.
that's the
Yeah,
whole-
it's fine.
That's the whole point. And my whole goal was to get to red ranks, which I've already done. So now the goal might be try to get to the next level above that,
Yeah,
which
man.
obviously is going to be a lot harder. Or just call it a day at red ranks and start playing other players, my viewers, to get matchup knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
ranked is a butt. No
I
doubt.
mean, honestly, say no to weebs. Like, when I play Tekken online, too, I mean, every time I play it offline, like, the very few times I've played offline, like, the stuff that I block and react to, everyone's like, holy crap, you're, like, reacting to everything. And I know all of those things I get hit by online.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the netcode in fighting games just in general are really, really not good.
Meanwhile, I'm playing Mortal and it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the Combat League often has problems, but once you get to a certain rank, it seems to settle down.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, Thorns, you do run into a lot of different play styles in playing ranked. That's the reason to play ranked.
Right, that's the main
everybody
thing.
has their weird idea about what to do in ranked, and you just don't see that when you go... Like, I don't see that when I play offline. I have been to a couple locals recently.
Right.
I play with some dudes pretty regularly. They're not doing weird stuff.
Yeah, even when you play lobbies. Like, if you just play player lobbies, you don't get the same...
It's not even
it's
weird
weird.
stuff. Like, I want to know what the dumbest thing is that would work. Like, I want to... So I can get around it. Or so if I see somebody do it on commentary, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw this. Sucks, but, you know, it seems good at first.
Every single King player I play online is the craziest, wildest... Just, I don't care about anything player in the world, and I can't beat any of them. Because I'm trying to do everything with, like, this fundamentals and footsies and all this stuff like that. And then they're like, let's do this crazy move that no King player actually uses. And I'm like, what is this? And I die all day. Kings are savages online, dude. They're 100% savages, and it makes me sad. Makes me sad. They're totally disrespecting that character, dude. He could be totally played in this way that doesn't make him look like a complete glue-eating, character.
Isn't he supposed to be a nut? Isn't that like his design?
Not really.
No?
Not really. He's got gimmicks here and there, but at least in my opinion, he's a pure, solid, fundamentals kind of character.
Isn't Armor... I don't know that game. Isn't Armor King the fundamentals version?
He's supposed to be, yeah.
Okay.
He's supposed to be, yeah. And I fucking got destroyed by an Armor King. I lost 10 games in a row to him. I could not do anything to him. But my problem is, like, I have trouble against very strong rushdown players.
Yeah,
because my defense is really bad.
Sure.
My defense is really bad, and I don't know how. And especially when you don't know a character, you just don't know when to crouch something.
Yeah.
You don't know when to sidestep something.
That's long-term knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. So. No, I think they called Yoshimitsu a glue-eating character in Soul Calibur.
Some people do eat glue. You shouldn't.
Ralph Wiggum, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's paste, right? I mean, it's that stuff's not dangerous for you. It's just gross.
Yeah, it is kind of gross.
I assume, having never tried it myself,
Right.
for sure. I want to point that out.
I believe you. Happens if it dries on the inside. Dude, do you know how wet you are on the inside? That shit will never dry, dude.
Yeah, what? You think your innards are going to dry out the glue?
Get your throat glued together. Oh, that'd be gross. Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
Again, it's not... We're not talking about, like probably don't eat, like,
super
liquid
glue.
cement. Yeah, probably don't do
uh-huh.
that. But the crappy paste that you have in, like, kindergarten...
Yeah.
The reason they have that there is because it's going to be eaten. I mean...
That paste was so gross, but everybody did it where they would get that or Elmer's and like get it on their fingers and let it dry out, and then you could like peel the skin off.
Right. Yeah, you see the.
I know
little
everybody's
weird
done
things,
that. I know everybody. Or sometimes I would do that and do this, and it would turn into like the little eraser marks, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Oh wait, did we leave? Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure I met somebody who ate Play-Doh.
Yeah.
I bet somebody in the stream ate Play-Doh. I bet one of you did. Just statistically speaking.
Yeah, probably. Don't lie. I know one of
somebody
you
in
out
there. Pipe up. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I always made Play-Doh, but like made stuff, but then I was scared to destroy it because it was cool what I made, and then it would dry out and shrink to the point where it was like completely useless. Yeah. Play-Doh was weird. That's always the hardest thing, is like I always wanted to remember everything. Now it'd be a lot easier with cell phones. Now everything I made in Lego I could have a picture of, you know. But like back then it was just not really cool. Dude, you should, speaking of old childhood stuff, I should show you the book that that my friend brought over and let me borrow for a while. Did you ever play with He-Man figures?
No, not really.
Not really? So they all came with a comic book. If you actually seen the Toys That Made Us documentary on there, they talk about that.
I haven't watched the He-Man one.
The He-Man one, they talk about that they made comic books with every one. So Ram Man came with the introduction of Ram Man comic book, like little tiny comic books. Well, apparently they compiled all of those comic books including the ones from She-Ra, including the ones from the new He-Man, and it's this 1,000+ page book.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
They wrote a lot, huh?
Here, talk to the chat. I'm gonna grab it real quick.
Okay, well, I don't know what to say.
You're doing a great job, David.
Thanks, James.
I mean, seriously. Hold this book, dude. Hold this book.
Oh, it's huge.
It is
Cool.
a heavy book.
It is. I feel like He-Man lifting it up on the front of this book.
Dude, look at this.
It's pretty chunky.
It's like literally all the comics that have existed. They reprinted them all.
Very
dude.
cool.
They reprinted all of them. 1,000 pages, dude. And they interview a lot of the writers who did it. Apparently, one of the writers who used to write this was a guy named Paul Dini, who went on to create Batman, the animated series, and all
really?
that stuff
Wow.
like that. So much to the point that and like Superman and Justice League are called the Diniverse. You know,
Is that
the Diniverse. Yeah. So it led to something great.
Interesting. I mean, that was a great show. Are these like interesting stories?
I've only read a few of them, so that's why he let me borrow them, because now I want to just sit here and read a bunch of them and see if I can remember a lot of it. But, dude, this thing is heavy, dude. It's a crazy book.
Yeah, pretty substantial.
And the funny thing is they even have like a little ribbon that you can put in there to like hold your page, like it's a reference book or something. My friend was telling me about all the goofy things, like certain characters kept changing colors because they couldn't keep it consistent. And
That's
like
funny.
Man-at-Arms had a mustache and didn't have a mustache and then had a mustache. It's really funny. So, man.
Alrighty, well, anything else going on to
Sorry.
rattle on about here? No, it's cool.
Not about fighting games at all.
It's all good.
Not much. Like I said, Tetris this weekend.
Yeah.
Classic Tetris
cool.
World Championships. You definitely want to check that out. Should be hype again. Joseph
Yeah, I
Saley's going back again. Jonas will be there again. So we'll see if they can. I'm curious to see if anyone can get into that echelon. You know what I mean? Can someone
Right.
else challenge those two? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Are you going to enter?
I can't play NES Tetris at all. I'm so ensconced in the new one. I haven't learned all the new techniques. I haven't literally I have not learned that proper execution for NES Tetris.
Okay.
There's this whole technique of maintaining the delayed
I remember.
activate thing like that, and I have no skill in that whatsoever, so I can't do it. So I can't enter that. If they have one for like other Tetrises, maybe I'll enter something. So, but we'll see. But I definitely will commentate, at least for the top 8 for sure. I'll be commentating for the top 8 because they've got a bunch of commentators, so they switch off a bunch of different guys beforehand.
Cool.
So, but I'll be definitely doing the top 8 with
That's
that,
rad.
with Chris Tang with Boom Tetris for Joseph.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, Bows and Joes. I would practice. I don't have easy access to a NES version of the game. However, when I go this year, because it's the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, I will try to buy myself an old NES that I can mod to output that I can practice it.
Okay.
And the stream should be twitch.tv/ I think it's CTWC, isn't it? Shoot. Let me make sure. It's either CTWC or the CTWC. Twitch.tv CTWC Tetris. Let's see here. What the heck? That's not what I wanted. Classic Tetris, that's what it is. Twitch.tv/ Classic Tetris is what it is. Yes. Thank you, 645. Dude, right, 645? As soon as it gets like to those higher levels, it's like, you're just like, what the hell is going on? It's crazy, but it should be a lot of fun. Yes, I understand that, Boats and Joes, but I don't want to touch my old Nintendo. I don't want to do anything to it. I just want to... Actually, my old Nintendo... I don't have that one because I have the top loader one that only existed for a few months. And I heard that one doesn't work.
Wait, top loader for Nintendo? You said?
Yeah, the one that's a plug thing.
Yeah.
I heard it's not. It doesn't work. Like you can't use that one because it doesn't have the proper output or something like that. because that one only has the like the RF output or something like that. I don't think it has the analog output. Only the original Nintendo has. So yeah, so you have to have an RGB card installed into your top loader, and that thing is really valuable, and mine's in pristine condition, so I don't want to actually touch it. So I'm just gonna go buy an old NIS when I'm over there for like $50 or something like that. So there you go. A little bit easier for me to do it that way. So would I be interested in picking up your Atari Jaguar or 3DO? I used to have a 3DO. I sold the 3DO to... No, I gave the 3DO to actually the same friend who lent me this book, but it died almost instantaneously. So I've never had an Atari Jaguar, but I mean, I wouldn't mind having an Atari Jaguar or a 3DO just for collection's sake. Honestly, I have a bunch of stuff. In fact, the guy who lent me this book also gave me his Genesis and Sega CD and all that other stuff because he didn't want to move it up north with him, and he knew he could count on me to hoard it into my home and not throw it away.
Yeah,
and I was like, you jerk. But yeah, that's the way it works.
That's right. Yeah, here's a little bit of community news. So the Collegiate Star League has been around for quite a while, doing other games and stuff. They have a Street Fighter V circuit. It's coming up. Thanks for the reminder, Henry. It's a $15,000 total prize pool.
Ooh.
And it is a college by college thing. So the colleges involved are quite a few. Michigan State, I guess, had its quals over this past weekend, but then this coming weekend are George Mason and Iowa State, UNC Charlotte, Rutgers after that, Utah, UBC, and Emerson after that. Texas A&M. The other schools are Texas A&M, Ohio State, University of Washington, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, York, Berkeley, yes, Saddleback, Louisiana State, Upstate New York, and Arizona State.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If this were back in the day and UCLA was in there, we would have destroyed everybody, dude. UCLA was clearly the best.
I like Berkeley.
I do have a CRT in my house.
I like
but
Berkeley.
My CRT currently, well, actually, I have two CRTs. There's one just sitting in my stairwell right now, but that's the one that also deafens everybody when I turn it on during the stream.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's the other CRT, which is the giant CRT, which is I've saved specifically so I could play old games on it, which is currently trapped in the corner of my small bedroom, which is flooded with so much junk I can't even walk to that direction in there. Because I had to move everything out of the downstairs room to upstairs and put it somewhere temporarily.
Berkeley. Good old Cal. You know, I really enjoyed going to college there. I'm glad I did.
It's an interesting school.
When I was in high school and applying to schools, I really wanted to go to Pomona or Claremont McKenna. Pomona College or Claremont McKenna College in the Claremont schools. And looking back, like, I don't really know why I wanted, like, a small private school, which we definitely couldn't have done anyway, but that's what I was, like, all interested in. And then when I actually applied, and my parents made it clear that, like, a small private school that was super expensive was just not on the table. I only applied to big state schools, and I didn't even apply to UCLA because I didn't want to go to the local one. So
were you one of the people that wanted to get away and like travel somewhere else?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
I applied to Cal and Davis and San Diego, UC San Diego. I think those are the only three I applied to for college.
Okay.
Probably should have done more than that.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't want to... Again, Boats and Joes, I don't want to use it for my current nest because I don't want to touch it. I don't want to use that nest because it's pristine and it's valuable. I want to buy a used nest so I could use that. That's kind of the whole point. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to use the current nest that I have. I would even buy a used top loader on the stuff like that. No. I want to play it on the nest. I just don't want to use that nest that I have.
I mean, Boats and Joes, I totally agree with you. By the way, I totally agree. But
because it's, like I said, it's pristine.
I have heard your response. I just agree with Boats and Joes.
If there's at a point in time which I might want to sell it,
yeah,
it'll be a lot of money.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It'll be a lot of money.
All
so
right.
there you go.
All right.
Dude, trust me, I collect everything,
I know.
dude. I
I'm
collect
not blowing you up.
everything. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Boats and Joe's is a very logical human, and he has trouble dealing with my very, very non-logical.
I hear you, Boats and Joes.
Oh, man. Hoarder.
Yeah, Olaf's down there like, what do you mean
Yeah.
collect?
I do collect things, dude. I collect everything.
Whoa, alright.
I guess that's our cue to take off then. Okay.
Shoutouts to the guy who, when my dad and I went to go visit Berkeley to see if I wanted to go to that school, after I had already made up my mind that I was going to go to UC San Diego, I was for sure going to go to UC San Diego.
Uh-huh.
And we went to Cal to visit, and we were just happy to be walking around, and we just, like, ran into this student, and we were like, hey, do you know where the gym is? We want to, like, check it out. And he's like, I'm walking that way. So he walked with us the entirety of the whole campus, and the whole way he, like, explained how life was like at Berkeley and how cool and all the things you could do.
Dang.
And it's super, everybody's very friendly, and I was like, this is awesome. And then the other reason that I went to Cal is that when I was at UC San Diego, they had their student elections going, and nobody cared. It was like no big deal. The campus was very clean. It was just like pristine. And then Berkeley, there's trash on the ground, and the people care about the campus elections and politics. And I was like, I want to go to the gross place.
The surrounding area of Berkeley was definitely the gross place.
That was definitely my like actual reason. I was like, San Diego's too nice.
You know why I went to UCLA, right?
No.
Because they had the best arcade.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But part of why I went to Berkeley as well is that UC San Diego did not have a campus arcade, and Berkeley still did.
Okay. No, I 100% went to UCLA because I used to visit my brother on campus, and they had the best arcade, and they had
That
all
makes
the
total
best
sense.
Street Fighter players there. So I was like, I'm going to UCLA.
Makes total sense to me.
Yeah, and I did finish Phoenix Wright Shadow Dancer. I'm trying to get those all up, but I need to make new thumbnails, and I'm being totally lazy about that, and I need to figure out how to do thumbnails quickly. Unless somebody out there wants to volunteer to help me make thumbnails, dude, then that would be cool. So,
You know, Warrior Guts, it's a great point that when I got to Berkeley and I grew out the sideburns and I grew out the mullet and everything, I was part of the grossness of Berkeley, and I was
this during the
I
time
was
that you
very
didn't
happy
shower
to be part
for
of
a
that.
week?
That may have happened. It was a time in my life that, you know, some things were not up to board yet. I had not, I was like 18 or 19 or whatever. Could have done better. But it was a lot of fun.
If I was hanging around you, I would have been like, poured this over
I don't know
your
why
head.
that didn't happen, but it didn't.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Anyways.
Alright, later.
Dun,
dun,
I'm
dun.
looking for here. Here we go. Oh, Canada Cup Gaming News. Shang Tsung is gonna be there.
I think they announced that a while ago, yeah.
Did they? Oh, dang. Okay.
Wow, your cousin got kicked out of Cal for being too wild? Jeez.
That's pretty wild. That is bullshit blazing. Anyways.
I got written up for playing Confusion by New Order too loud for 10 hours straight. And it actually knocked the lighting fixtures off of the dorm room's ceiling below me. I got written up. Rightfully so. I don't know why I did that. Terrible idea.
Was this back on your mega boombox, you know, with
It
the
was.
crazy
I had a
speakers?
subwoofer and everything. Yeah, I was into the music at the time. I was really into it. But yeah, that's what happened anyway. Later.